disconcerting to be worried about yourself, your kids, your family.
Police say they don't have a definitive motive for why a 15-year-old girl shot 8 people before killing herself. Of the 6 people wounded, 2 are said to be in critical condition. 1 person is dead, 9 hospitalized in a shooting and fiery crash in Towson, Maryland.
Gunshots were reported near where a car crashed outside a funeral home that was closed at the time. Few details have been given about the circumstances surrounding the shooting, but Baltimore County Police Chief Robert McCullough says he believes it was an isolated incident.
The individuals in this case somehow knew one another, and that this incident was intentional and targeted.
It's not yet clear whether those who were injured were shot, and their conditions are unknown. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
A suspect in a general's assassination is detained in Russia, accused of being recruited by Ukraine to plant the bomb. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
It's been done. Cloudy and 40 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Joseph Corcoran was executed early this morning. He was guilty of murdering 4 people in Fort Wayne back in 1997. Corcoran and his wife Tahina visited with each other one last time on Tuesday.
We talked about the fact that we both believe in Jesus and that we believe someday that we will see each other again.
Corcoran asked for Ben & Jerry's ice cream for his final meal. He was put to death at 1:44 a.m. Eastern Time. His last words, "Let's get this over with." A teenager has been charged with a rideshare driver robbery at gunpoint from last year. It happened back in November of 2023 when a man driving for Uber was waiting outside of an apartment complex on the east side. Then a person showed up with a gun and took the driver's wallet. Through some police work, IMPD says DeMarquise Dillon, who is now 17, is the one who robbed the driver. A man from Kokomo has been arrested on several drug charges. Harrison Silcox reports.
Malachi Peters was caught by a Howard County deputy running a red light December 6th. Peters said he was on his way home to confront some people who had broken in. That deputy went to check out the home for himself and thought there might be some weed inside, so a search warrant led to officers finding nearly a pound of magic mushrooms, THC products, guns, and $1,600 in the home. Peters was charged with dealing and possessing drugs. He posted bond and is awaiting his trial. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Taxpayers in Carroll County are on the hook for about $2.5 million, which is what the Delphi murders trial was worth. The Carroll County auditor revealed the whopping number in a report released on Tuesday. $1.3 million of that was spent on Richard Allen's defense. He was found guilty and will be sentenced on Friday. Former Mr. Indiana football and current Notre Dame linebacker Jack Kaiser says beating IU is all in the details.
That's making sure you win your one-on-one. That's making sure you have the right run fit. But then it's also making sure everybody's locked in on the sideline, right?
IU and Notre Dame will meet each other in 2 days in the college football playoff in South Bend. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
Inbound 69, still stop and go traffic from 96th Street to 465. Southside crash, westbound 465 before 31. It's on the shoulder. Traffic sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Your small business keeps you on the go. Progressive Insurance. Commercial insurance keeps your policy within reach with their easy-to-use mobile app. Learn more at progressivecommercial.com. I'm Matt Baer with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with DayQuil VapoCool. It's DayQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let Mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is DayQuil VapoCool.
DayQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Did you ever ride your bike with a clothespin and a baseball card? Or use a typewriter for a school paper? Then here's a timely alert. Americans born from 1945 to 1965 are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C, which often has no symptoms, but is a leading cause of liver cancer. The good news? Treatments are available that can cure hepatitis C. Talk with your doctor about getting a blood test for hepatitis C. Know for sure. A message from the CDC.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's jewelry experts.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Morning showers give way to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. Today's high cooler, down to 40. Tonight, mostly cloudy, quiet, and colder with lows falling to the mid-20s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
40 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Well, good morning. It is Wednesday, December 18th. It is 6 minutes after 9. You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. Actually, somebody called and said it should be called the Kendall-less and Casey Show because Rob Kendall has the day off. My name is Casey Daniels, and in for Rob today, we've got Jerry Lopez. Get ready for a round of speed dating. This will be interesting, right? Because you and I have not worked together.
We have not. No, I'm really excited. I was telling my daughter on the way in, it's bring your dad to work day.
Yeah, she's here in the studio
my
as
car
well.
is at the shop, so I said, you know what, after I work with Casey, I think this will be everybody, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming in today.
Definitely.
And thank you for bringing your beautiful daughter as well.
Yeah, she had no choice.
She looks so excited to be here as well. She's like, how quickly can these 3
Don't
hours
embarrass
go?
me, Dad.
Yeah. Well, let's get into what's going on with Donald Trump. I love it when we start off the show talking about Donald Trump. The Argentinian president, Javier Milei, is going to attend his inauguration. Now, I looked at the calendar today, and if my math is correct, we're 33 days away. Milei was personally invited by Trump. He actually called him to extend an invitation. And that's exciting for you. You like this guy, don't you?
Oh, I love this guy. Good old Javier. Yeah, this is South America's Trump. All right. So just to catch people up, he took over in South America. There was a huge push for socialism. So you had Maduro in Venezuela. You had Colombia elected some socialist farmer, and then Argentina was having the same problem. And he came in and basically did exactly what Trump did. He was very authentic, spoke straight to the people, talked about he was going to cut socialism cut the head of the snake off. I got here, he cut 13 different departments within the government. They recently just cut the largest tax bureau. It's going to save Argentina $6.5 million. They're not in a recession. So he's essentially done to Argentina what we want Trump to do with us, have accountability within government. So
he started Doge before Doge existed.
He did.
And he's been in office for a year now. And as you mentioned, Argentina is now out of their recession. They're out of debt. So it's we'll see if that rubs off on Trump and his administration. Now, Trump has said that he did not invite Vladimir Zelensky, but he can come if he wants. He didn't get an official invitation. And Trump had commented on Monday that world leaders were calling him and were asking, well, what other heads of state have been invited? So this is like the cool kids party, right?
Can you get me on the list, Casey?
Right. Like, well, I don't know. Who else is going to be there? Let me see if I want to come. The one person who said that he's not going to be at the inauguration is China's Xi Jinping. He said no. But, his drones are already here. So he's already viewing
He's
everything.
watching. Yeah, he has the best view in the house. And you know what? To piggyback on the Zelensky thing, you've got enough of our money, dude. You don't need to come to the party, too. Like, just sit back and relax. Stay out of the worldview at this point. You've been in the forefront of basically American history for the past 3 years.
So some other conservative leaders that were invited were the Prime Minister of Italy and also El Salvador's president. But so far, Milei is the only one that we definitively know has said, yes, he's coming, he'll be there. And that's a first because no other world leader has ever come to a presidential inauguration in the United States.
Yeah, and I think it says a lot that Trump has people reaching out to him because they know what a Trump presidency is going to mean, not only for this country, but for the rest of the world. So it's time to either, join the party or get left behind.
Yeah. So Trump was right again. This about what's going on in Aurora, Colorado. 14 people were detained at that apartment complex, which was taken over by Tren de Aragua. And this after a string of violent home invasions. They even found victims that were tied up and stabbed. Here is the news on it.
Okay, Aurora, Colorado now. This is a live look now. The sun is up there in that state, and police have now detained 14 people and reported armed home invasion. That's the same apartment complex where a lot of people were complaining about the armed Venezuelan gang members roaming the halls. Reports indicate that investigators said that several suspects entered the apartment and had 2 people inside. The suspects then reportedly moved the victims to another apartment complex, or rather another unit on the property where police said they were found threatened and bound. An adult man sustained a non-life-threatening stab wound. At the moment, police say it's unclear if the suspects are connected to the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, but we'll get a live report in Colorado 30 minutes away and bring you the latest on that developing story.
Okay, so they knew about these Venezuelan gang members and these problems for months, and they waited until people were tied up and stabbed to do anything about it.
Yeah, the sad part is people were talking about this leading up well before this, right? There was a report a month, 2 months ago that said there was a report that a gang took over an apartment complex, and our media was doing everything that they could to say that it was not true.
Yeah. Oh, you want to get into that? Okay, Kevin, can we play the Martha clip? This is one of the best audio clips. I love J.D. Vance on this. He's talking to Martha Raddatz, and he just shuts her down.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border? Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be.
Only a handful. That's like a doctor saying, you know what? Only a handful of your organs have cancer. Only a handful of the pipes in your house have burst. Only a handful of men has your wife cheated on you with. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous that she would say anything like this. And I just love J.D. Vance, the way he just put her down.
Well, and you know, to J.D. Vance's, it doesn't affect this lady.
No, because she's living in a gated community on a hill,
Yeah, she
right?
lives on the Upper West Side, and she's not worried about this. It's downtown. It's not my problem. My job is to make sure that I don't turn off voters or hold our city government accountable. No, this is not really that big of a deal because they know who butters their bread, right? It's ridiculous that we have our own media lying to us in this country. When do they just become unbiased? Here's the news. You come up with your own opinion.
Yeah, good grief. Finally, something is done about this. But the Aurora, Colorado police chief, he's blasting the Biden administration for allowing the illegal gangs to pour across the border.
It was a male and a female. They were accosted by approximately 13 to 15 armed individuals. They were pistol whipped, they were beat, they were mistreated. One of the male was actually stabbed. He had a stab wound. So does that fall in the category of torture for me? Yeah, it does. There is a high assumption that they may be affiliated with the TDA gang. I had a discussion with an individual from the White House, and that occurred back on September the 23rd, I believe. And that person basically told me that, hey, once these immigrants get across the border, that's all we really care about. And to me, that's a problem.
Wow, those are powerful words. That was the police chief in Aurora, Colorado, detailing
So the White House literally saying to him, no big deal until something happens.
Something has happened. You're here. For starters, you're here illegally. Secondly, you've taken over apartment complexes where we've seen that they're allegedly like extorting the people for their rent money and kicking out the owner, and the person gets evicted or gives up their apartment, so now that apartment belongs to the gang.
Well, Jerry, it's only a handful, though.
I guess that's true. It's only a handful.
And you got to know that police chief was risking a lot by talking publicly about this. And when people say, oh, you can't vote for Trump because of women's rights, women's safety, that's it right there. That's why women are voted for Donald Trump, because they don't feel safe in this country when things like that are happening. And it was just denied by the media, but we all knew it was happening.
Well, and you can miss me with the women's rights and body autonomy when I have a COVID card because this kid had to get one to go to college. So it wasn't her body, her choice 3 years ago.
No, it was mandated upon her.
Let's stop all that talk now.
Yeah. Kamala Harris, she made an appearance. It was her first extended public speech since she conceded the presidency. And what did you get from her? Word salad, Jerry. I don't know. Maybe you can decipher what in the heck is she even saying here.
So I will
say this as we close out this year. I ask of you this.
Yeah.
That those here and anyone watching, that you will not walk away. That you will stay true to your spirit and your sense of purpose.
Okay.
That you will continue to fight for the promise of America. And I ask you to remember the context in which you exist.
There it is.
Yeah, I did that.
Oh, no, there it is. There it is. It hurts. It hurts. The laugh. The laugh. She's like, I'm still here. Remember me? What does that mean? The context in which you exist. Is she trying to say, pay attention to the things around you?
I mean, maybe. The context in which she exists is she's the first candidate since 1932 to not flip a single county from the previous. So, I mean, like, let's use that context. Should we even listen to what this lady is saying? Like, she speaks like she has 7 vocabulary words that she needs to put into a sentence. Right? Like, context is a word. Or she needs to fill her essay with 1,000 words. So she just starts saying random words.
And repeating them over and over.
It makes no sense.
Right. Like, I've got to use as many words as possible. The context in which you exist. Okay. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. That is Jerry Lopez filling in today. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Kamala Harris, nobody voted for her in a primary. Forget about the general election. The Democrats just kind of threw her up there after they forced Joe Biden out.
Democrat voters decided that Amy Klobuchar, who looks like everybody's mean grandma, was more likable than Kamala Harris. Yeah. They thought Eric Swalwell, who farts on national television, was a better choice than Kamala Harris.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, Rob, did you know that the Social Security Trust Fund is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years?
Casey, I refuse to believe that our government might be letting the public down at large.
Well, according to Barron's, an average couple could lose up to $16,500 every year in Social Security income. Multiply that by 10 or 20 years, and it could easily add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And that's why it's critical you have the right strategy to file for Social Security. Discover how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free, customized Social Security analysis.
It's from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy in Indy. He's also our retirement guy. We trust Bill, and you can too.
If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912.
That's 317-932-9912.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com.
If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now. 800-428-7054. 800-428-7054. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $398. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. And you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $398. What are you waiting for? Call 800-428-7054. 800-428-7054 and give us your answer.
The preceding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
The holiday season should remind us that faith and family are the most important things in life. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We hope that you succeed in coming together this holiday season with those you love and in the process create wonderful generational memories. Holidays have this magical power to magnify small things into ever greater memories over time. Happy holidays.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that will say, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Pat Sullivan here. Fire emergency? I've had one. If you do, call Michaelis. Owner Richard Michaelis explains why.
Michaelis is local and family owned. 39 years of experience with 24/7, 365 response. The Michaelis Corporation is IICRC certified, restoring your home or business to pre-loss condition or better.
And Michaelis helps you through the insurance process, giving you peace of mind. Water, storms, fire, and mold. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Text or call 844-FIX-INDY.
How many words per minute can you read, Jerry? Can you read a lot? Are you a quick reader? Fast? No?
I mean, I'm probably decent. I read faster in my head than with my eyes. I get ahead of myself sometimes, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to say it out loud, it'd probably be really, like, just jumbled at something.
Oh, yeah, a lot slower. You definitely speak slower than what you can read typically. Can you read 31 and a half pages of a continuing resolution per hour?
I can 100% say no. Probably not even half.
Well, that's what members of Congress would have to do. They introduced the stopgap measure. It was to prevent a government shutdown. A deadline of Friday night to extend funding, and it's a 1,500-page stopgap bill. Continuing resolution, and I'll say it because Rob's not here. Would you really miss if the federal government just went away if they were shut down? Probably not.
No, not at all. It's happened before. It's happened multiple times.
Yeah. So they've got this 1,500-page bill that they're expected to read and know intricately what they're voting on by Friday. It has a one-year extension of the Farm Bill, around $100 billion in disaster aid, $10 billion in economic assistance for farmers. And this was, it's ridiculous. They released this under pressure. They're feeling the heat. They should have had a game plan already together. They didn't. But how porked up can that thing be?
Well, that's the
1,500
issue.
pages.
That's the issue. The issue is within all these pages is everybody's little, hey, you scratch my back, I scratch yours.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like hearing this dent, the 100, what do you say, 100 million or whatever for the disaster. We just had a disaster.
Oh, don't be silly, Jerry. That's $100 billion.
We just had a disaster and they were giving them $750.
Right, $750.
Right, like for a disaster.
Yeah.
This all went to FEMA. We've seen this before. Tell us what is different this time. Let's do it. Let's do it itemized. Let's do it line by line. The CR should be a single bill. Shouldn't have a bunch of stuff in it. If you can't write a bill that has to do with running the government by itself, then you have no business in government.
Chip Roy, he says that they're just fundamentally unserious about spending.
Go for it. Go for it. Congressman, can we get you real quick?
Sure. Of course. I mean, it's just swamp's going to swamp, right? 1,400 pages. Still haven't seen the text. Multiple subject matters. Important healthcare legislation in the context of extenders piled on the back of a 3-month CR with about $110 billion unpaid for, $25 billion of healthcare policy, half of which is fake pay for, being sold that is paid for because they're gimmicks and shuffling around the decks. Things like E15, which we didn't even have a full debate on. This is not the way to do business, right? And so, we've said we'd do something different. And since we've been given the majority again, we're adding $30 billion in literally totally unpaid for additional deficit spending just since November 5th in 45 days. I don't see how that's doing what we're supposed to be doing.
How much of the blame falls on the speaker? And
I mean, right now we'll keep trying to move forward. The conference itself owns this, right? And the conference needs to decide whether we're actually serious about spending. And they talk about, well, we got to do mandatory spending reform and bend the curve. But we just voted on a $200 billion shift of dollars in Social Security that's going to shorten the time when Social Security expires or goes bankrupt. We're just fundamentally unserious about spending. And as long as you got a blank check, you can't shrink government. If you can't shrink government, you can't live free.
It's fair that he's being critical about this because it's rushed, and they're even bypassing debate on the House floor. And now they're considering a suspension of the rules just to expedite the vote. Just get it in, get it through. That's all they want.
Yeah, it's amazing they can find the money when they need the money. But for something like running our government, they have to throw in all their pet projects, right? When Ukraine needs $1 billion, they give it to you the day after tax day. Like, we just sent in all our money. Now Ukraine gets a big chunk of money. they have trouble coming up with our money. This is a huge problem.
Yeah, it's a total dumpster fire, and it's happening again. And you know what? It's the same people that are celebrating Doge coming in, right? So on one hand, they're saying, yeah, Doge, let's cut. And then on the other hand, they're going in and they're voting for another $1 billion to be added to the deficit. So Speaker Johnson, he says that the continuing resolution is supposed to be a stopgap, but it's not now, and that these are their obligations. And here's the thing, the government doesn't have to participate in charity, and they're cramming all of this into this continuing resolution, which by his own words is supposed to simply just be a stopgap. But you know what it is in the swamp? It's just business as usual.
It was intended to be, and it was until recent days, a very simple, very clean CR, stopgap funding measure to get us into next year when we have unified government under the Republican Party. But a couple of intervening things have occurred. We had, as we say, as we describe them, acts of God. We had these massive hurricanes, as you know, in the late fall, Helene and Milton and other disasters. We have to make sure that the Americans that were devastated by these hurricanes get the relief they need. So we are adding to this a disaster relief package, and that's critically important. Also important is the devastation that is being faced by our farming community. The agriculture sector has really struggled. They've had effectively 3 lost years, and commodity prices are a bit of a mess, and you've got input costs that are skyrocketed because of Bidenomics. You put all those factors together, droughts and all the other conditions, and you have a lot of small family farms and ranches and people who supply the food for the country in dire straits right now.
So he says that we're intervening because things happen. So when he says intervening, that means that members suddenly need to have their pet projects approved. That's what that is. And he said, we're almost there. We've been working around the clock to get this done. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. He was at a football game.
Right.
He was in the press room at a football game. And he said it's intended to be, up until recent days, just a very simple, very clean continuing resolution. But how clean is it when it's 1,500 pages?
Yeah, our government reminds me of car insurance. Right? Like you pay and you pay and you pay your taxes. But when you need to use your car insurance, Casey.
Yeah, where are they?
They're not around.
Right.
That's our American government, right? We pay our taxes, and we take care of everybody else. Hell, I think Africa just got money from Biden for natural disasters.
Yes, they did. Yeah, they did.
Right.
$1 billion.
Yeah. And here we're still last. We're still last. It's so offensive. I cannot wait for President Trump to take over. And I hope it's the America Revenge Tour, because we deserve it.
Yeah. Victoria Spartz said something interesting about this. And, you know, she just came out saying that she wasn't going to be on any committees or anything. She was asked about the House Speaker, Mike Johnson. She said he's wonderful and he's a brilliant legislator, but she hasn't decided whether she's going to vote for him to be Speaker again.
That's fair. I think the referendum for all Republicans is you do what Donald Trump says. Period. That's what we voted for. Resoundingly. He won. He got the popular vote. He got everything. You toe the line or you get primaried. But that's how I feel.
I think it's also interesting that that's coming from Victoria Spartz, because this is a woman who voted present for...
It's a woman who said she wasn't going to run
McCarthy.
at all.
She said she wasn't going to run.
Got
and then
15
she did.
people to run.
Yeah.
That's my district. I was working with a lot of those people like, hey, yeah, what are we going to do? And then out of nowhere comes Victoria, and a lot of people quit their jobs. A lot of people put a lot of money in to run campaigns. She said she wasn't going to run.
And then she did.
And then she did.
Here's what I think. This is my hot take on this. Fire. I believe that she is quiet quitting. She needs to stay in for 2 more years. She doesn't want to be on any of these committees, so that when 2 years and that pension comes rolling in, she's just going to quietly.
I could see it. I could see
go
it.
on out.
I know she ruffled a lot of feathers when she jumped back in the race.
Yeah.
And now to say you're not going to do your job is even more offensive.
Well, I mean, I know that it does take a large amount of money. You have to donate to the RNC to be on those committees. She doesn't want to work that hard, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't want to do it. She's quiet quitting. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577.
Service today?
Today.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Indicted. It's cloudy and 40 degrees on Monument Circle. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. The man accused of murdering United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson could be extradited to New York as early as tomorrow. Luigi Mangione is being held in Pennsylvania. A grand jury has indicted Mangione on upgraded charges of first-degree murder in furtherance of terrorism. An arrest made in the assassination of a Russian general. Fox's Jonathan Savage.
Lieutenant General Igor Kirillov died when a bomb hidden in a scooter exploded as he left his apartment. Russia's security service says it's arrested a citizen of Uzbekistan recruited by Ukraine to plant the device. Kirillov was chief of the Russian military's Radiation, Biological and Chemical Protection Forces. Ukraine had just charged him with using chemical weapons. Jonathan Savage, Fox News.
A deal has been reached to avoid a government shutdown, Congress reaching the agreement Tuesday afternoon, pushing back the funding deadline from December 20th to March 14th. The decision buys some time for the next Congress and incoming president to work out how the government should be funded for the incoming year. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. Dow futures appear to be breaking the 9-day losing streak. The Dow is up 74 to 44,045. The Nasdaq is down 20 to 22,294. And the S&P 500 is up a point to 6,128. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
One of the real advantages that we have here at Hendricks is the scope of the services that we have to offer in orthopedics.
Whether they have a hip fracture or they're a high-functioning athlete, we're all working towards the same thing.
To have them be able to have an elective surgery safely and then go home also in a safe fashion is of utmost importance.
We very much want everyone to get back to doing everything that they were doing beforehand. We're really invested in it.
Unstoppable orthopedic care. Learn more at hendricks.org/ortho.
Hi, this is
Lloyd,
Jessica,
Robert, and Adam
from Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning in Pittsboro. The Kirby family wishes you the merriest of Christmases and happiest of New Year's. Thanks for your business. We really appreciate it. If you live in Hendricks or surrounding counties and need us, we are always here to help. Kirby services any model, and we proudly install American Standard products. Call us at 317-892-3614.
Kirby is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Happy holidays from Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
From sugar cookie crumbs in the kitchen to pine needles under the tree, count on Steel for Christmas cleanup made easy with the SEA20 battery-powered handheld vacuum. Now just $99.99. Power up the holiday and give a gift from the top of their wish list. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Was $159.99 MSRP. Includes battery and charger. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Express the heartwarming message of Christmas this year. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that special moment that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
3 more women have come out and accused the Senate Minority Leader, Greg Taylor, in Indiana of sexual misconduct. He's an Indiana Democrat, so does this have any shock value?
No, it's sad that we're almost getting accustomed to this. It's which one's next, but like we were kind of saying off air, you know, he's been accused of this so many times, they can't all be lying.
Right? Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, like people said Whitney Houston smoked crack for years and be like, no, she didn't. And at the end, we're like, oh, yeah, she did. We said it for 20 years.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You can't be accused of the same thing over and over again by multiple people.
And it just be completely fabricated.
They're all making it up? No. So the new accusations include unwanted advances, unauthorized touching, and one case of him forcibly kissing an intern in a women's bathroom at a downtown bar. But here's the thing. He continues to receive support from most Senate Democrats, with 6 out of 10 of them voting to re-elect him. So it seems that his party is okay with this. We'll just dismiss this and move along. And also, Republicans have shown little interest in investigating the allegations either. It's like everybody's just saying, okay. Anyway.
Well, I remember Rob saying that he spoke with somebody one time. They said, why is nobody mentioning that this person is doing this thing? And they said, because we all are.
Yeah.
And it's almost I mean, I have a lot of daughters. I don't need us all to be okay with sexual harassment.
No,
that's a problem.
These women should be able to go to work and
100%.
feel safe and not have to worry about that.
And sometimes it takes guys to stand up and speak up for those women because the women are scared of retribution.
Yep.
So there needs to be men at the State House going, sorry, bud, this is not okay with me, and I'll stick my neck out for them.
Yep. He denies the allegations.
Of course.
He's called them false and unsubstantiated, and he said...
You're not that important, bub. They're not all lying.
One of them. One of them's got to be true, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Indiana Democrat Party will have a new leader in March. This after their chairman decided against seeking a second term. So Mike Schmuel, he announced his decision to leave the state's party, the Democrat state party, during their Central State Committee on this past weekend. And I believe there was rumblings of that at their holiday party. Oh, I thought only winners had parties.
Yeah, no. Everybody has a party on the left.
Yeah, they had one over the weekend. But guess who's throwing her name in the hat for the position?
Oh, don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say it.
Yeah. Destiny Wells.
Hey.
Yeah, she's launching her bid to replace Mike Schmuel.
She's going for the cycle, right? She wants to lose 3 state positions. And I mean, this is, will she just go away, Casey?
Run, Destiny, run. Okay, so what? She ran for Secretary of State.
Blown out.
Lost.
Yeah.
Run for Attorney General.
Blown out.
Lost. So now she wants to be the chairperson of the Democrat Party in the great state of Indiana.
She needs to be, the only way she can win is if she gets voted in by people that don't even know what a woman is.
Mm-hmm. Well, or, you know, she can't win against anybody else.
No.
So she's got to be the head cheerleader within her own
She's
party.
the head of the weirdos.
Yeah, she said after spending the last 4 years in the trenches and as both a statewide candidate for the Indiana Democrat Party and deputy chair on the state central committee, it is undeniable that our party needs to be reimagined before it can deliver consistent winning results to the public. She's right on that.
Yeah,
they
reimagined.
do need to be reimagined.
I as a vet, I hate that she says that's her. To me, that's her most important thing that she can offer. I was a veteran. And it's like, who cares?
Yeah.
I hate to say it, you know, and as a vet, that's how I feel. There's being a veteran, the military, it's just a segment of population. You have weirdos, you got racists, you got sexual offenders, you have everybody is in the military. So just because somebody said they were a vet, thank you for your service, but that does not make you a special person. Okay, so no, she just needs to stop that and just realize, look, just go away, Destiny. Go away and enjoy your family. And thank you for your service, Destiny.
Yeah, but she hasn't come close to winning any elections.
Well, when's she going to stop?
Yeah, well, she's not. The grift continues, right? She is determined to get her message out, whether it's on X or through this venture. But it almost seems like the title is needed for validation.
I could see that.
Like,
at this point, any title.
Do you know who I am? Exactly. Any title. Just give me something. I got to have my name in the news. She just has to be part of it somehow, some way.
And she sold us that it was going to be close between her and Todd.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not even
How'd
close.
that work out?
Yeah, blown out again.
Yeah.
0 for 2.
So if she can't win competing against someone, she'll run as head cheerleader, I guess. Governor-elect Mike Braun, he announced plans to appoint a brigadier general as Indiana's adjunct general. And the adjunct general will lead the Indiana National Guard and its 1,200 members. I believe that's his last appointment for his cabinet.
Okay. Yeah, I had to look up what this person did.
Yeah? What'd you find out?
I've heard the name, the adjutant general. I've heard of that before, but I'm like, what does this person do? So they're responsible for organizing, regulating, and instructing the National Guard. Deal with that. He's a brigadier general. He's maintaining a record of all commissioned personnel, commissions issued by the governor. Okay, it's military still, so good. Recording all orders and regulations for the National Guard. Okay. And preparing returns, plans, and estimates for the state, Department of the Army, and Department of and the Secretary of Defense. I think it's a fantastic choice. What he does lines up exactly with what his responsibilities are.
Yeah, Braun said that he's got military leadership, and he was also in the private sector. He was an executive, and he's got that experience. He called him exceptionally qualified for the role, and it seems like it because his career includes 2 years in Washington, D.C. at the Office of the Secretary of Defense and also the National Guard Bureau, and he spent 19 years at GE. So it seems like it's a good choice. You were in the military. I have to imagine that a position like that, it's important that the person has military experience. They know what they're talking about.
To us, it's important. Yeah. It's the same way that I view Congress, right? Like very few, I don't want to say none because there may be a couple that I don't know of, have sons that are active duty military, right? And it really ruffles my feathers when you're sending people off to wars that you have no skin in the game.
Right.
Right? Pelosi can send our kids over to war all day.
Doesn't matter to her,
but it's
right?
not her kid.
Yeah.
Right? She doesn't care.
Send her wallet to war and she'll have a different opinion.
There you go. So they just make us all pawns. So I respect a leader who is A, either served or B, has a kid that serves or is serving so that they understand the repercussions of the decisions they're making. That's a very big deal to me.
Yeah. And you have to keep in mind, it's not only sons and daughters who serve, but it's also the family members.
Right. Well, she was born on an Army base.
Yeah? Which one?
Madigan Army Medical, Fort Lewis, Washington.
Okay.
And has traveled like the country.
All over the world, right.
Yeah,
So
Dad went here, you go there. Dad goes here, you go there.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not only difficult for the kids, they have a different it's not traditional because they are always moving.
Yeah.
However, it does make them, in many cases, more outgoing because they learn to make friends
well,
very
you got
quickly.
no time. Yeah, well, I got no time. But this is what I mean by Pelosi says you're going to war. Okay, that's me, that's her, that's my son, that's everything, and I'm just one person. Think of how many people they're sending over, and they don't care.
So this adjunct general, he's a senior Army aviator with over 1,500 flight hours as well. There's one other thing that I wanted to bring to your attention before we go to break. This comes from Axios. They're reporting that Holcomb said that he would not have done anything different during the pandemic.
He stole that from Kamala.
I was thinking the exact same thing. So he was asked about looking back on the early days of the pandemic, anything you would do differently. His answer, I don't think so.
This is Governor Face Diaper.
Yeah. So he said, I know that sounds kind of bullheaded or dug in, but I think there were many lessons you can draw from how to handle the unknown, and it's just a different situation.
The lieutenant governor tried to say that, too, and how'd that work out for her when she ran for governor?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it did not work out for her at all.
So the people said, you got to say something is different.
Yeah. How about you not shut down businesses?
That was my
How
big
about you
thing.
not close schools? How about you not mandate vaccines? How about you not mandate face diapers?
So that was my big thing. I live in Hamilton County, so the reddest county in the reddest state. And I'm going into the bank and the gas station, got to go back out to my car to get this cloth mask that anybody with half a brain realizes a virus is going right through. This is not the N95. This is a little stupid one with a Yankee sign on the side.
You know what I used as my mask during the pandemic was, the TV show Survivor, Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
They have those buffs. That's what I used. That was my mask. It was like...
It's all for show.
Yeah.
Right?
Just a little T-shirt on my face.
Why is he okay with this? Indiana is supposed to be on the leading edge of personal personal freedoms and no government intervention. And he's letting this ride.
And your governor is saying, well, I wouldn't have changed a thing. Now, your daughter is here in the studio today, and you told me how old she is. Was she in the graduating class of 2020? 21.
Yeah.
Okay, so you experienced all of this lockdown stuff during your high school years, and it was probably really fun, wasn't it? And
yeah,
in college.
so she cheered at Westfield and went to Ball State to cheer her freshman year. And they said, if you want to stay in the dorms, you got to get the COVID shot. So I worked from home, and I'm like, well, what kind of dad would I be if I let her go and I didn't get it? But I work from home. I'm not worried about anything. She goes and gets it, I go and get it too. So now I look at people and I go, don't ever tell me my body, my choice, because we didn't have a choice at all for a vaccine.
Well, just so you know, Jerry Lopez, your governor was A-OK with it. Adele has had a hit song pulled from the charts, this over plagiarism claims. We're going to play both versions for you coming up to see if you can spot the difference. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
The budget is on the table, and boy, is it hefty. We'll go over this embarrassment just like your parents with your latest report card on tonight's show, 7 p.m. See you there.
Here is Jiffy Lube of Indiana's COO, Lonnie Hinkle.
Lots of Hoosiers belong to unlimited car wash programs because they want their car to look great. At Jiffy Lube, we're here to help you make sure your car runs great. So to help take care of your car inside and out, Jiffy Lube is offering everyone who belongs to a monthly car wash program a $20 discount and a free tire rotation from now through the end of the year. Just point out your car wash sticker and we'll do the rest. My Jiffy Lube teams are maintenance experts. Our computer system provides all of the manufacturer's maintenance recommendations for every make and model of vehicle, so we know exactly what every car needs to operate at its best. Jiffy Lube is your trusted one-stop shop for all that your car needs to run well for many years. You never need an appointment, and we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores. So stop in on your way to the car wash, save $20, plus get a free tire rotation just for belonging to a monthly car wash program.
Jiffy Lube. Nobody does it better.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Your home is your sanctuary. Get the peace of mind you deserve with a free estimate on a Generac automatic standby generator for your home from Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer. With expert installation and 24-hour monitoring, Generator Supercenter won't leave you in the dark. Financing is available. Take control of your power today with Generator Supercenter. Call 317-827-0808. Generator Supercenter of Indianapolis, 317-827-0808.
Great holiday savings all month at Tom Roush Lincoln. And during the Lincoln Wish List sales event, select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 60 months. And all these great deals include the Lincoln Conquest Trade Assist. And don't you forget, all Lincolns come with complimentary pickup and delivery service. So get some of those holiday savings right now at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP $105,845. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Lover music, hater politics. That's pretty much a theme with a lot of entertainers. Adele is facing legal issues over a 2015 song called Million Years Ago. And she's having these issues with a Brazilian composer. He claims the song was plagiarized from his 1995 samba hit. Now, these are both in Spanish, Jerry, so this is your forte. I can't pronounce the word.
I think it's Portuguese, isn't it?
Is it Portuguese?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Let's get it.
Okay. Well, the Brazilian composer, he's seeking $160,000 in...
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it?
He wants damages. He also wants songwriting credit and royalties. Over
it's
her
the
play.
royalties.
It's the
That's where
royalties.
it's at.
Yeah, exactly. And a Rio de Janeiro court has issued an injunction ordering Adele, Sony, and Universal to stop using, reproducing, or distributing the song globally. So shut it down.
Yeah, I don't. 160,000. Does he know who Adele is?
Mm-hmm.
Like
That's like
160,000
nothing,
is
right?
like
It's-
suing me, and
right.
it's like, oh, it's a lot of money, but I could come up with it. Adele, she spent that at the hotel last weekend.
Right,
you know, like
exactly.
just personal travel is.
For her, that's like, okay, here's a $10 bill out of my wallet.
And I think her husband is LeBron James's agent, Rich Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not hurting for money whatsoever.
No, but
I'm not
maybe-
surprised. This happens a lot, right?
Yeah, it does. She probably enjoys the exposure, though, and doesn't want to be told, sorry, your song's got to be pulled globally.
They're not pulling Adele's song.
It's not the first time, though, that she has faced any sort of plagiarism claims, right? Not even for this song. It's happened a few times before. I don't know. And Kevin, maybe you can help us out. There's only like 3 major chords in music.
I've seen the commercial, yeah.
It's like
Yeah, I can see the
D, G, and C.
similarities, but I mean, you're bound to have some similarities with a different song.
I don't hear it. But
there's so much sampling has happened today,
Mhm.
especially in like rap and hip hop. It's an old beat from the Beatles or an old beat from Frank Sinatra, or I think Jay-Z had a thing where he used "My Way" like the lead up for that. And I'm sure you got to get it written off, but she probably thought she could be slick. Let me head down to Rio de Janeiro, grab this one-off Zamba song that nobody's heard,
right?
And then imagine being this guy. He's riding around and he hears his song on the radio by Adele.
Yeah,
that's a smack
you
in the
have to
face.
be half flattered.
I wrote that. No, you didn't.
And half upset. Right, exactly. That's my song. That's my song.
Sure.
Sure it is, buddy. No, that's Adele.
I'm going to sue her for $160,000.
Okay, good luck. Let's see how it goes. Well, apparently it's going his way. So let's play both songs and you decide if they're similar.
Learning to fly, learning to run. Let my heart decide the way. When I was young, deep down I must have always known that this would be inevitable. To earn my stripes I'd have to pay and bear my soul.
Okay, that's pretty.
O sol da minha vida, minha vontade. Você não é mentira, você é verdade. É tudo que dia eu sonhei.
It's definitely Portuguese.
Já tive mulheres em várias cidades, muitos amores, com umas até.
She probably used a hook or something. She thought she was going to get away with that, Casey.
I
She
didn't
grabbed
hear
the
it.
Portuguese. I don't know any of those
I
words.
didn't hear it at all.
Boom.
I did not hear it at
I
all.
feel like there's a lot of Spanish or Brazilian songs that sound like that, though.
There are, but she probably picked this song thinking nobody knows what the heck this guy is. It's in Portuguese.
Mm-hmm. Kevin,
Yeah.
did you notice the difference? You're the musician.
I think they sound pretty similar.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. All
Same
right.
same kind of chord progression.
Kevin, you give it to the plaintiff? 160,000 in royalties?
Yeah,
In the court of Kevin?
There it is.
Yeah, your judgment
Done.
is. Well, the court's ruling includes a fine of $8,000 per act of non-compliance of not pulling the song, and it's preliminary. And Sony and Universal, they do have the option to appeal. However, neither Sony Brazil nor Adele have commented publicly on any of it. So let's turn to Conor McGregor. He says he's in negotiations to fight Logan Paul in a boxing exhibition in India. He said on his social media that he's in preliminary agreements with the family of this billionaire industrialist to fight Paul.
Yeah, this is...
Money grab?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah,
Aren't they all?
It's ridiculous. Now, this isn't even really boxing, right? So for those of you that don't know, Conor McGregor, huge MMA star, UFC, they're cash cow, all right? That's... Conor McGregor, he's the cash cow. Logan Paul and the brother Jake Paul, right? The two brothers. They started
Jake Paul, who just fought Mike Tyson.
Cash grab.
Right.
Do you see where we're going here?
Yes. It
All
runs
right?
in the family, right?
Logan Paul fought Floyd Mayweather like 4 or 5 years ago. Cash grab. All right. And Logan Paul is, I don't know, 70 pounds heavier than Floyd Mayweather. Right. So this is a boxer. Logan Paul is actually in WWE. So he does wrestling now. Right. So it's just entertainment. And the problem with this is you can bet on this stuff. And I think that should be illegal because this is not a legitimate fight. These guys are out there just entertaining.
Right.
But it's Conor McGregor will make more money off this fight than probably his total UFC winnings ever. And this will be probably 50, 60, 70 million for an exhibition boxing match.
No matter how it goes.
No matter how it goes. You're going to get paid to show.
Yeah. Okay, so Logan Paul, he's the older brother.
He's the older brother,
brother of Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to be as cut.
No.
I'm going to say like Jake Paul, big guy.
Yeah.
But muscular.
He's
like
taking boxing
defined muscles.
serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas Logan Paul maybe seems a little bit more
He's the entertainer. He does
comfortable.
Yeah.
A little more doughy.
He's the one that owns Prime. Prime, the energy drink.
Okay.
That's Logan Paul.
Yeah. So it doesn't even matter who wins
That might
or
be a
loses.
hater, but those kids are doing well.
Yeah, they're doing all right for themselves. That's true. We've got a lot of drone talk that we have to cover. We're going to do that coming up on 93 WIBC. It is the Kendall Casey Show. Good morning.
Did you know the Social Security Trust Fund is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years? And according to Barron's, an average couple could lose up to $16,500 every year in Social Security income. Multiply that by 10 or 20 years, and it could easily add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's why it's critical you have the right strategy to file for Social Security. Discover how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free, customized Social Security analysis. It's from Bill Demery, your retirement guy, right here in Indy. We trust Bill, and you can too. If you save more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912. Bill Demery, your retirement guy who we trust right here in Indy. 317-932-9912.
Hey, Pastor Nathan from Life Church.
Hey, Pastor Tina from Life Church.
I don't know about you. I'm so excited. Christmas is right around the corner.
You know what? Our Christmas experiences start on December 22nd on Sunday.
Yes, and we have Christmas Eve and Eve options for you too.
That's because people love options.
Well, you don't want to celebrate Christmas without reflecting on what Jesus has done.
Absolutely. So if you go to lifechurchin.com, you can find our times and locations. We hope to see you there.
There's a lot on the line in a divorce. Your home, savings, retirement, maybe even kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions it can take, you really need a partner you can count on. I'm Rick Julius, a partner at Cordell & Cordell. We're committed to helping protect your personal interests and the life you've built. Don't let divorce take more than it has to. Talk to us today.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Indianapolis area attorneys. 101 West Ohio Street, Suite 1250, Indianapolis, Indiana 46204.
What does the joy of Christmas mean to you? A gift? Time with family? Decorations and traditions? At Shepherd Community, the joy of Christmas is learning to read, feeling safe and loved, finding a stable job, and having a community that cares. Shepherd gives its neighbors gifts of joy and hope for a brighter future. You can give the joy of Christmas to neighbors living in poverty, not just at the holidays, but all year long. Visit caringatchristmas.org/give. That's caringatchristmas.org/give.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Coming up in 2 minutes, a convicted murderer was put to death last night, plus the hefty bill that Carroll County taxpayers are going to have to pay, and he says goodbye as he moves from one chamber to the next in Congress. I'm Kirk Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios. After Fox News Radio, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
No sense of danger. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. In his first public comments about it, President Biden says he does not think mysterious drone sightings are anything to worry about.
Nothing nefarious, apparently, but they're checking it all out.
He says there are a lot of drones up there, and he thinks one was spotted, then everyone wanted to get in on it. Alabama Senate Republican Tommy Tuberville on Fox.
Are we going to do anything to it? Are we going to shoot it down? But it's obvious we have no answer, or the Biden administration has no answer. But sooner or later, hopefully before we go home for Christmas, they'll give us some kind of explanation in the Senate.
The first drone sighting was reported in New Jersey a month ago today. A House Republican report on the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot finds former House Republican Liz Cheney should face criminal investigation for witness tampering during a bipartisan investigation into the attack. Cheney calls the report a malicious and cowardly assault on the truth. There's an agreement among congressional leadership facing possible opposition from some House Republicans on a short-term spending bill that would prevent a partial government shutdown Saturday.
Some members are calling the bill that would extend government funding until March a Christmas tree due to the number of add-ons. One of the ornaments being praised by Maryland lawmakers includes funding to rebuild the Francis Scott Key Bridge, struck by a cargo ship nearly 7 months ago. The bill text also includes funding for small business disaster loans, language on transparency and concert ticket pricing, and a provision allowing lawmakers to stop using Obamacare exchanges.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. 5 people, parents and 3 kids, are found dead in a home in Utah. A 17-year-old's hospitalized with a gunshot wound.
We believe at this point that this is an incident that's isolated to this home.
And West Valley City, Utah police spokesperson Roxanne Vainaku says there's some challenges in communicating with that wounded teenager and finding out more information. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An execution carried out. It's 41 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. The state executed Joseph Corcoran early this morning at the state prison in Michigan City. Advocates and clergy against the death penalty prayed outside the prison as his sentence was being carried out.
We live in a very violent culture, and the more we feed into that cycle of violence, even through state means, it weakens our culture.
Gary Archbishop Robert McClory, Corcoran, I should say, was put to death at 1:44 a.m. Eastern Time. $2.5 million. That's how much it cost Carroll County taxpayers to put Richard Allen on trial for the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. That number encompasses attorney and witness fees, as well as security measures for the trial. Allen will learn his sentence on Friday. Weed, magic mushrooms, and guns were all found at a home in Kokomo. Harrison Silcox reports.
A deputy with the Howard County Sheriff's Office pulled over a car for running a red light December 6th. Malachi Peters was driving that car and said he was hustling home to deal with some people breaking in. The deputy wanted to check things out as well and noticed some signs of a break-in at Peters' home. He also noticed the smell of weed. That led to a search warrant being filed, which then led officers to finding those mushrooms, marijuana, guns, and drug paraphernalia. Peters was arrested on several drug charges. Harrison Silcox, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
In his farewell speech on the House floor Tuesday, Indiana's Jim Banks says he couldn't have done it alone.
I want to thank my supporters, my friends, my family, who have allowed me the great honor of serving in Congress. I will always be grateful to them.
He gets ready to become a senator when he's sworn in next month. Ben Shepard took part in live action in practice on Tuesday for the Indiana Pacers. Head coach Rick Carlisle.
But he's making nice progress, and Aaron's making progress too. Aaron has not gotten into any live stuff yet, but hopefully at the right time, sometime soon.
Both players have been injured for the last several weeks. The Pacers have won 2 in a row now. They're hoping to make it 3 tomorrow night against the Phoenix Suns. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's full-service jewelry store.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 18th. It is 5 minutes after 10. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. I'm Casey Daniels. Rob Kendall does have the day off, and joining me in the studio this morning is Jerry Lopez. Thank you for coming in today. Are you ready for drone talk?
I am ready for the drone talk.
Oh, boy. Let's get into it. So much drone talk, so much drone activity. There's now an interactive map that has revealed hundreds of these drones, and they're all over the northeast of the U.S., and they've been there since November, and we haven't received a definitive answer yet over what's going on, but over 5,000 drone sightings have been reported, generating about 100 different leads. Everybody thinks they know what's going on. Oh, except for your government. The sightings, they've been reported in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania. I even heard something about some in Kentucky and also in California and the Northeast. But the concentration, or the Northwest rather, the concentration of these drones has clearly been in the Northeast, which is ironic. They picked the one place in the country where people just want to mind their own business and don't share anything at all. But, we've got these drones here, and now it's a thing. And despite what they've previously said, there are confirmed cases that they exist, and they're in restricted airspace. And now the government is backtracking, and they have bad messaging.
Yeah, it makes no sense because my only issue with this is the government has said nothing. I mean, in today's age where everybody is on-the-spot journalist, everybody has a camera, it can go to social media, it can go viral immediately. One tweet by Elon Musk will send your tweet into the stratosphere, okay? So for them to sit here and pretend like we're not seeing these things flying around the sky already is ridiculous. That's what perked up my interest, right? It would make more sense if we said, where do all these drones come from? And they said, well, one drone loves another drone, and they just make more drones. But to say nothing makes no sense at all.
I'm more concerned about what the drones are looking for or what they're doing rather than the actual drone. Are they spy drones? According to the House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Michael McCall, he believes that they are spy drones from China.
Why aren't they shot down then?
Exactly, just like the balloon. We're going to just let's just see how this plays out. Let's take our time with this. So he's referring to the drones that have been spotted over military sites and bases as spy balloons. He says that they're likely from adversaries. Oh, okay. Well, then do something about it. Apparently, he has no authority, though, right? Is everyone in New Jersey under mass delusion then? Out of nowhere, everybody's saying they're seeing these drones. The government doesn't respond, and then they do respond, and they say, no, these are helicopters, they're planes. You don't know what you're talking about. They're all FAA, regulation. They're following the law, and then it's just a few drones. And then they're saying, oh, yeah, no, these are all over the place. So you go from thinking, oh, my gosh, are we under attack, to thinking that people are just wound too tight. They don't know what they're thinking. Everybody's in freak out mode, to, oh, well, maybe it's a little bit of both.
What scares you more, if it's aliens or the U.S. government?
Aliens.
I mean, but if they're aliens,
because I expect the U.S. government to be lying to me, and to be covering things up.
But if aliens can show up here,
right?
there's no reason to be scared because it's game over.
For us,
if they can even make it here,
right?
It's game over,
right?
There's no need to be scared of anything.
Well, then why are we paying our bills?
Exactly, because
why are we working then?
It's nuts to me. And for people to say they were aliens, it's like, so they traveled from another galaxy undetected,
yeah.
And stopped at Trenton, New Jersey. And just stayed there?
Just ironically over military
These are the
bases.
dumbest aliens ever. Like, what are we?
Well, and it seems like there's different types of drones. There's the ones that have the correct FAA lights on them.
Right. Because, aliens got to travel with the safety lights.
Right. They have to be compliant. And then there's like the orb-shaped ones.
Well, they get weird. Yeah. So they're all around the same place then?
Yeah.
This is straight out of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is straight out of a movie.
And then there's people saying, well, this is a psyop. They want to
Right.
see how Americans are going to react.
It's going to be a fake alien attack.
And then there's people who are saying, oh, this is the government because they're just trying to push through more spending.
Which would make sense.
So
we need more drone signal capabilities. Let's
Mhm.
invest another $50 billion into a black project.
Okay, so what does it say about our country then that Bethany Frankel, former Real Housewives reality star, she's got more credibility on the drone situation than our government or our military?
You're going to think I'm nuts, but why should today be any different than any other day? I know this guy whose father worked with the Pentagon and NASA and secret projects, and he has been messaging me that he will never forgive himself if he doesn't tell the people that he knows that for a month he's been watching this situation. And now, several days ago, before it became a discussion in the mainstream media, that these drones are ours and that they could very possibly be sniffing out something very dangerous, some missing dangerous W from the war, and that areas that coincide with where the drones have been seen have spiked in radiation. So he said it's time to think about where I am and that I might want to go somewhere with my daughter.
It's interesting. She doesn't name any names. This is just a friend. But a lot of people are tapping into this theory.
Yeah,
that
I
they're
saw
looking
this
for something.
So I saw this online. I know we're going to get to it next, but there was a post by the U.S. Nuclear Regulatory Commission alerting to this and basically saying, something that was supposed to show up on site didn't necessarily show up, and now we're trying to find it. And I think instead of causing chaos, which I think this is still causing chaos, right?
Yeah.
If they would come out and be honest, hey, we're looking for something, it would make more sense than to just have people wondering what is going on.
Right. Okay, so you said we're going to get to it. Here is the mayor of Belleville, New Jersey, and he's saying radioactive material in New Jersey went missing on December 2nd, and he suggested that the material may have come through Port Newark, and that this is what the drones are looking for. They're looking for radioactive material in New Jersey that has gone missing. It was in a shipment. They opened the box, and it was MIA.
All right, so Bethany Frankel, I know she's not like, the New York Times, but she says that she has some kind of contact at the Pentagon and that it has something to do with radioactive material in New Jersey. What are you hearing?
So here's what I know. I know that we were told by our state police that we have assets over our critical infrastructure. Now, depending on your point of view, that's either concerning or comforting. I think it's comforting because it's probably us listening and watching. We also know that we have drones that are flying in a grid-like pattern. In my opinion, they're looking for something. What might they be looking for? Well, potentially, we're aware of a threat that came in through Port Newark. Maybe that's radioactive material. There was and there is an alert that's out right now that radioactive material in New Jersey has gone missing on December 2nd. It was a shipment. It arrived at its destination. The container was damaged.
Okay, so this actually makes some sense.
Yeah.
If this shipment of radioactive material came into the United States and it's now missing, that sounds like a logical reason why the drones would be snooping around, and that would cause some widespread panic. Here's the thing that is a real bummer about this is that you're not getting definitive answers from your government, and nobody believes the mainstream media anymore either.
Right, you're stupid if you do.
Right. So you have no idea.
So we come up with it our own, Casey, and it's aliens.
Right.
It's aliens.
And we're gonna fill in the blank on our own.
Yeah.
And even if the government came down and they said definitively, this is what it is, this is why we didn't tell you to begin with, would you believe them? And even if some mainstream media reporter came out and they said, I found the answer, this is what it is, I'm reporting on this, would you believe him? You think, no, that person's just trying to get clicks and likes.
Right. So I have somebody that follows me on Facebook, and I put up this the posting from the U.S. NRC, Nuclear Regulatory Committee, and he said, interesting that they're reporting that the container with GE-68 pin source showed up at its destination damaged and empty. Said these items are used to calibrate PET scanners, which basically detect radiation. He goes, these are low radiation source for calibration. Why would bad guys steal this? Seems way too small for anything that's going to be super nefarious. I said, well, I'd like to know how many were in the container, and if the container was stacked full, would that make a difference? And he said, honestly, you probably can't make a nuke, but it'd have more value as a dirty bomb.
Oh.
So maybe that's the concern, right? It could just mess up some people, and any of this is bad. But I just wish our government was more honest with us.
Okay, so now there are people in New Jersey, residents, and in that whole tri-state area. They're reporting that they're becoming ill after seeing drones in the sky. They say their symptoms include coughing, blocked or runny noses, puffy and watery eyes. One woman says she was coughing up a lung. It's kind of Havana syndrome-ish. Can you relate any illness that you have to the drones, or is that completely just coincidental?
Or is that just from going outside in that dirty New Jersey air and staring outside at the sky for so long?
Right?
Right. I mean, who knows if these machines, what these drones are even doing? If they're looking for gamma radiation, then what kind of signature are they putting out? I mean, can that be a conversation that can be had later on?
So the press secretary for the Pentagon, Major General Patrick Reichert, he says that the drone phenomenon is nothing new.
The way that you now have this modern technology and the ability, you could go out of here right after this briefing and go and buy a drone, and you could fly it around your neighborhood, and as long as you're flying it appropriately and not in restricted airspace, there's nothing illegal about flying that drone.
Just why does it have to be a classified briefing if these are just hobbyist drones, they're not military drones? Why is it a classified briefing on the Capitol Hill?
I'd have to refer you to Congress on that. Again, sharing as much information as we can here. I don't have the briefing in front of me, so I can't tell you specifically, what aspects are classified or not. I can assure you, though, that again, we are sharing as much information as we can based on what we know.
Are you?
There's no way those are hobbyists flying drones in the middle of the night.
Well, that's the question that I posed yesterday. Why a classified briefing? If they're just hobbyists, if there's nothing nefarious going on. And again, many people think, oh, this is from another country. Okay, Jerry, I'm old enough to remember 5 days ago when John Kirby, White House spokesperson, said that they were just planes and that people were seeing things that didn't actually exist. But now they're admitting that, yeah, they are drones. However, they're being operated legally.
Well, I would repeat what we've said yesterday and last night in a multiple agency statement, that we have taken a serious look at this. We have gone through 5,000 some odd sightings. We have added detection capabilities to the region. We've even sent up visual observers. And everything we're seeing to date, our assessment tells us that these are commercial drones, hobbyist drones, or law enforcement drones, all operating legally and lawfully. I mean, when people shoot video of that, Kate, I mean, you're seeing the lights on these things, the navigation lights. That's what's required if you're going to be flying in U.S. airspace at night, are navigation lights. So clearly they're being operated in a lawful and legal way, and we've seen nothing from their behavior, nothing, that tells us there's a public safety threat or a national security threat.
Except for Wright Pat Air Force Base was shut down.
Yeah, that's a big one, too.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That's an important one.
So he said, visual observations.
We're not worried. Close the base. Close the base. But it's nothing new. Just close the Army base.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe next hour we should take some phone calls to see what our listeners think about all of this, how they're feeling about it, any theories as to what they are. And it's just, interesting that we're not getting any definitive answers from anybody. And even if you did at this point,
would you believe it?
Would you believe it? We've got some Christmas mashups that we have to discuss. Hammer played a couple.
I sent in this bag, right? I said, I think this is better than the ones from yesterday.
When Hammer was in yesterday, he played a couple of Christmas mashups for us that were a lot of fun. And we've got some more to share coming up from 93 WIBC.
Once again, you've heard the bell and answered the call for the 30th anniversary WIBC Radiothon for the Salvation Army.
Sam is still counting. We will have an official total.
Presented by Financial Center. You've helped families in need throughout central Indiana.
Certainly, Merry Christmas for many in our community. $506,349.
Thank you from Financial Center and 93 WIBC.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. And a thank you to our loyal customers for making our agency a national sales leader for the 7th straight year. We recently saved a family of 4 over $500 monthly when compared to their ACA plan. You know it's still Obamacare, right? We've recently saved a 61-year-old retiring couple over $600 when compared to their COBRA plan. Breaking news. We are now able to offer health insurance to employer groups of all sizes with 2 of the largest insurers in the Midwest. We'll be here when you need us. Quoting my favorite president, what the heck do you have to lose? We can help. As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Call Ron or Terry at 317-563-0868. That's 317-563-0868. Or go to rragency.org. That's rragency.org. A health plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Hi, this is Richard Stevenson with Stevenson Heating and Cooling, wishing you happy holidays. As a veteran-owned company, we know how important family is and want to say thank you for your continued support and business. We are always here for your heating and cooling needs, 317-557-8532. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Guys, what are you waiting for? For that special Christmas gift, let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop to opt out.
I've tried just about everything for my ED. Big name brands, awkward appointments, the whole deal. Nothing felt right for my lifestyle until I found Hardee's from Zelty. Pre-planning, waiting an hour, it took all the fun out of dating. But Hardee's changed everything. These dissolve fast, working in as little as 15 minutes, and last up to 36 hours. Plus, they cost up to 90% less than big name brands with the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis to keep me going strong. No appointments, no hassle, and completely discreet. That's right, Zelty is 100% online with fast, free shipping. Plus, powerful results that cost around 90% less. For a single guy like me, Hardee's made dating fun again. Text TERM to 200-300 to see if you qualify for fast-acting, long-lasting ED medication. Get your free medical review now. Text the word TERM to 200-300. That's TERM to 200-300. Don't wait. Text now. Hardee's from Zelty. TERM to 200-300. TERM to 200-300.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Getting in the spirit.
Had a very shiny nose.
Yesterday, when Jason Hammer was joining us from the #1 rated Hammer and Nigel program, he had some Christmas mashups. They were a lot of fun. One was from AC/DC and Brenda Lee. The other one was a Little John remix. And then you brought one to the table.
Yeah, I brought what I think is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
I love this one. This is 2 classics.
Yeah, the collab you didn't know you needed.
Yep.
So let's take a listen to these and see how we feel about them. This first one is Creed doing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
All of
Need a Creed Christmas soundtrack.
Used to laugh and call him names. They never let Rudolph join in any reindeer games. And one foggy Christmas Eve, oh, Santa came to say,
yeah,
can you take me higher?
That's fun. So this has got to be completely done by AI.
Yeah. Listen, AI music is all over X.
Mhm.
It is amazing. Yeah, I'm here for that. I'm here for AI
That's
music.
a good one. Now, where would you put that one up against AC/DC or Little John?
So Little John one, that was my favorite.
That
out
was
of the
my
two.
favorite,
That was
too.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would go Creed, Little John, AC/DC.
And then the AC/DC
Yeah,
one.
Yeah.
I bet none of you were expecting a duet between Cher and Captain Kangaroo today.
The snowman was a jolly happy soul with a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of gold.
You're probably too young for Captain Kangaroo.
I
aren't you?
remember hearing the name.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? It was like was it a Saturday morning show?
It was.
Yeah.
And
I'm old enough to remember Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. Now, I wanted to play this one for you because this came across one of my social media feeds, and this is a version of, I think it's War Pigs is the original title of the song, but you might recognize the Christmas lyrics.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly.
That's a good one. This is going to be a good one.
'Tis the season to be jolly. Don we now our gay apparel. Troll the ancient Yuletide carol. See the blazing Yule before us. Strike the harp and join the chorus.
I might like this one better than Creed, honestly.
Follow me in merry measure, while I tell of Yuletide treasure. Oh, Santa!
I love it. Okay, so that was actually a guy. His name is Corey Mann, and he's from South Bend area, and he hosts a radio show
That's a
up
good
there
one.
in northern Indiana. He did. He did mornings on U93 for a very, very long time when I lived in northern Indiana. I saw that and I was like, oh man, he's at it again. That's perfect. Let's throw it in the mix. But a lot of Americans say that they are over Christmas traditions. 31% say they're bored with traditional Christmas customs and they're looking for more unusual alternatives this year.
So make up your own. Make up your own.
Make your own tradition.
That's what I say. So even as silly as they are, so me and my girlfriend made up this stupid one for Christmas time. You always hear that dumb Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas. Anytime that song gets played and we're together, we have to dance to it and you can't tell anybody why you're doing it.
Oh, so like no matter where you are, you could be at Kroger shopping.
We were at Bath and Body Works at ATC and it comes on, she starts walking away immediately and I look at her like, oh no, we're doing this.
Yeah?
Right there in the middle of the store.
That's fun.
It at least makes it different.
Yeah,
you know,
because
but
you hear that song constantly.
a million times. So at least it gives you something a little different. I can understand why people are over traditions because honestly, I mean, I'm 43, I'll be 44 next year. I feel like traditions, I hate to say this, were a thing of our parents.
Yeah.
Where you go to grandma's house and the pitch-ins and all that. And now society has gotten to the point where I don't have to leave the house to do anything. So to leave the house to go do anything is almost a burden.
So 47% said that they would rather spend Christmas Day in their pajamas rather than getting dressed up. I'm on board with that. And a lot of people say they want to ditch the traditional Christmas meal. Many people kind of have a repeat.
Well, you just
of
had Thanksgiving.
or they'll choose ham or something instead. But now they're wanting alternatives for this, like pizza, tacos, Chinese takeout instead of the traditional turkey. And a lot of people like the idea of having a friends-only Christmas where families not
just the people you actually want to hang out with.
People you want to hang out with. I don't know. The dude and I were talking about this last night, and he was like, "No, we're having turkey. We're doing stuffing and potatoes and cranberry." And he loves.
You need that person.
He loves the traditional aspect of it. And my daughter, I don't you might be aware of this. She moved to Baltimore earlier this year. She's coming home tomorrow, and I'm so excited
Bring
about
some Maryland crabs with her?
Yeah, right? Well, we did put a blue crab ornament on the tree this year. But, you know, when it comes to having family around, yeah, come on. I'm on board with that.
Yeah. But when you were younger, were you on board with that? Now you're the mom with the kids coming home. When you were the kid coming home,
did you want to do it? We have the thing that every Christmas Eve, we would go to my mom's side of the family, and Christmas Day was always my dad's side of the family. And that was it every single year.
That's what we did. So I would pick them up on Christmas morning, about like 10, 11 o'clock, open up gifts at mom's, and then we all come over to dad's house.
Yeah.
Then you go back at the end of break or whatever.
Yeah. So I think, hey, you do what makes you happy on Christmas. Just remember, Jesus is the reason for the season.
And he doesn't mind sweatpants.
It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A deal is done. It's cloudy and 39 downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Lawmakers in Washington have reached a deal to avert a government shutdown. Fox's Ryan Schmelz.
Some members are calling the bill that would extend government funding until March a Christmas tree due to the number of add-ons. One of the ornaments being praised by Maryland lawmakers includes funding to rebuild the Francis Scott Key Bridge, struck by a cargo ship nearly 7 months ago. Not included is funding for programs for those suffering medical conditions related to nuclear testing, infuriating a number of lawmakers like Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Members of the House Intelligence Committee received a classified briefing about the recent drone activity over New Jersey and New York. Reps from the FBI, CIA, and the National Intelligence Agency attended the briefing Tuesday. Lawmakers exited saying that they were reassured nothing nefarious is going on in the skies. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The holidays are a magical time to get engaged. At Shane Company, we're here to help you create your dream engagement ring in just 3 easy steps. Choose a setting that speaks to your style. Compare diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. Then personalize it with a decorative crown and special engraving. Or choose a perfectly preset ring that's ready to go. At Shane Company, you'll find everyday competitive prices, a no-pressure environment, and an unmatched free lifetime warranty. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
From sugar cookie crumbs in the kitchen to pine needles under the tree, count on Steel for Christmas cleanup made easy with the SEA20 battery-powered handheld vacuum. Now just $99.99. Power up the holiday and give a gift from the top of their wish list. Visit your local Steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Was $159.99 MSRP. Includes battery and charger. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Show your true love and spoil her with that one special Christmas gift from Pierce Jewelers that will say, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Hey, Pastor Nathan from Life Church.
Hey, Pastor Tina from Life Church.
I don't know about you, I'm so excited. Christmas is right around the corner.
You know what? Our Christmas experiences start on December 22nd on Sunday.
Yes, and we have Christmas Eve and Eve options for you too.
That's because people love options.
Well, you don't want to celebrate Christmas without reflecting on what Jesus has done.
Absolutely. So if you go to lifechurchin.com, you can find our times and locations. We hope to see you there.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present voicemails.
The phone number is 317-684-8444. It is time for the Wednesday edition of Your Voicemails. And I had mentioned earlier in the show that I think next hour we're going to take some phone calls to see what your opinions are on the drone situation. And we'll do that live. But here we go with some of your questions, comments, smart remarks on different topics we have discussed throughout the past few days. And of course, we start off with the ongoing conversation about Christopher Cross coming to Ruoff with Men at Work and also Toto. It's been a big debate here, and somebody wants to weigh in on that and a few other things.
Several quick takes on yesterday's broadcast. Number one, Christopher Cross. He had many hits in his day. He is not a one-hit wonder. His hits included Ride with the Wind, that was on the charts for 4 weeks. That's number two. Sailing, also a former hit. It was number one on the charts. Arthur's Theme, number one on the chart for 8 weeks. And the Laura's theme, or the theme of Laura, was on the charts. He had 7 hits in the top 20. I hardly call him a one-hit wonder. One other comment, actually 2 of them. Mike Braun, you seem to be cheering for IU. I share your cheering for IU. And Casey, you can appreciate this. We're at the risk of being excommunicated by turning against our Catholic roots and cheering for IU. But we have our reasons, trust me on this. And finally, you're talking about Pepsi and Coke. My favorite of all time, and I want to be buried with a can of it. When they bury me, is Diet Right Cola. And it's getting harder and harder to find. But everybody has their own little thing in life. Otherwise, Pepsi is just fine for me.
Okay, he's a Pepsi guy. All right. So a couple things we got to talk about there, Jerry.
Yeah, what is this one-hit wonder with Christopher Cross conversation?
Yeah, I don't
He's
recall
the
saying he was
godfather
a
of
one-hit
yacht
wonder,
rock.
but maybe that came out. I don't recall saying that. Maybe it was the dude. So the concert is Men at Work, Toto, and Christopher Cross.
Yeah.
Rob and I were discussing who was the
Christopher Cross is the headliner.
That's what you think?
Yeah.
And you think that's deserved? That should be it?
I mean, yeah, Sailing is that's the jam for me.
Okay. More so than Africa from Toto.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The other question was IU or Notre Dame?
That's easy.
Is it?
Yeah, you root for Notre Dame, but you're happy for IU. I'm happy for them. It's like when you see your little brother win. It's like, that's cute.
Yeah. So you're going to be rooting for the Irish.
Yeah, listen, I want to I want to go to heaven. All right, God doesn't care. All right?
And the final question was, we had a big conversation about Christmas beverages yesterday, and Coke or Pepsi came up.
Oh, just Coke is only for Jack and Coke, Jim's and Coke, Captain and Coke. Other than that, it's Pepsi.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of the beverage conversation, here's a phone call about hot beverages for wintertime.
The best hot drink would be a hot buttered rum. Muldoon's in Carmel serves the best hot buttered rum I've ever had, and I've lived all over the world and all over the United States. It's the best hot buttered rum. Delicious. Go order a couple for 10.
Or 10.
Oh, by the way, this is Scott the nurse. Bye.
Thanks for calling, Scott. I like that. Butter rum. That sounds delicious.
That does
That's
sound
got to
good.
be like a dark rum and then all sweetened up.
Yeah, it
to make
sounds good. I went to that Carmel Christmas Kindle Mart thing, and
yeah.
I had
Chris Kindle Mart?
warm some cider, some hot. It was pretty good.
Was it
Yeah,
spiced or was it unleaded?
It was an adult one. Yeah,
it was an adult
cider.
version?
Yeah, I actually really liked it.
Yeah. And it made your experience much more
I
enjoyable.
mean, I chose a bad day to go. It was probably all of like 12 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was freezing.
And it warmed you up on the inside. Okay, so we had a big conversation about Canada, what's going on there. Prime Minister facing a major political crisis. This with the resignation of his finance minister, key ally, longtime loyalist. Of course, Donald Trump just loves trolling Justin Trudeau. And here's a call regarding, Canada.
Yes, I just had a comment. You guys were talking about Canada. I went to Canada one time in my life, a few places in Canada when I was took a vacation there when I was a teenager, and Canada was such a nice country and much better before Trudeau got in there. A lot of people say, that he's Castro's son, Fidel Castro, and when he grows a beard, he does look like him. And a lot of people say it is his child I saw something about on TV one time, and I just read something about Mick Jagger, I guess, claims to have had, relations with Trudeau's mother, too. I guess they were swingers, and she was really infatuated with Castro, and they were around Castro a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And, Trudeau also went to Castro's funeral and so on. So a lot of people say that's his real dad. So I don't know, but he is evil like Castro, and he's corrupt. He's caused the people their trouble. I've been there one time for the few places in that country, and I've talked to people since then many times that live there, and they're like, don't even get me started on Trudeau. They do not like him. He's made a mess of everything, and so that clown needs to go.
Okay, so obviously his future leadership is declining, this among his unpopularity. Many concerns, same thing that we've had in our country, inflation, immigration, same thing. Have you ever been to Canada?
I have. I went to Toronto maybe 3 or 4 times. I absolutely loved the city.
Yeah?
Loved it. Yeah. Well, back then the dollar went further. I don't know what it looks like now. Went further, and Toronto reminded me of like a clean and courteous New York City. Super diverse.
Yeah.
If you want Portuguese food from Ghana, food from Somalia, like it's all there.
Yeah.
I loved it.
So I lived outside of Detroit for many years growing up, and Windsor, Canada.
I was going to say 8 Mile.
Right. Oh, yeah. I used to drive 8 miles to go to work. But Windsor, Canada, right there. So going to Canada was, you could do it. I mean, it was right there. And one time I tried to get into Canada, I got pulled over by the border. They, as you go through, they ask you, what's your reason for visiting? And we were just going for lunch. I was there with some girlfriends. One of the girls had never been to Canada. And we said, well, let's go. And when we answered the question, yeah, we're just going for lunch and to do some shopping, they said, pull over. And we did. And they came over.
Was it a guy?
It was
was he trying to hit on some hot chicks or something?
No, it was a couple guys, and there was a woman there as well. And they, they kind of made us all get out of the car, and they,
That's standard when you look like me, Casey.
Scanned us over.
Yeah. I come back from overseas, and I'm always the random security check.
I get that a lot at airports, too, though.
You do?
Yeah,
No, that's just to make people like me feel better. I look on there, I'm like, I'd look like all 16 of the guys from 9/11.
Yeah,
it's not good.
When they pulled us over at the border at Canada, they kind of gave us the once-over, asked us some questions, checked out the car, realized we were honestly just going for lunch.
Right.
And then they sent us on our way. But I was so rattled at that point. I was like, get the heck out of here. Get me back to my country where I'm free. Here's another phone call, this one about TikTok.
I agree with the dude. I don't think the government should be bothering with businesses and just shutting them down indiscriminately like that. They have concerns and prove it, show that that's happening, that they're taking our data and doing something terrible with it. Who knows? But really, we have all our stuff going to India on these call centers. They have our Social Security numbers, our health information. You don't think some China people's getting a hold of that stuff? Because I can guarantee India does not have that stuff locked down like we do. So get real, people. The day of electronics, your data is not safe, really. It sort of has the pseudo thought of being private, but it really isn't. It's all electronic, all digital, and somebody can hack it. So get over thinking that everything's perfect and safe. It's not. But the market will prove if TikTok's worth it or not. Thank you very much.
She's got a good point there. The market will prove whether it's worth it or not. She's talking about the ban on TikTok that is expected to happen on January 19th, right before Donald Trump is inaugurated. It's very much a situation where it seems like the government is picking winners and losers. If they're going to pass a law, make it the same for everybody. I don't know how you feel about this. You've got young people. Are you?
You can't legislate parenting, and I think that's what people are trying to do, right? Your kids are on social media too much. Your kids are just scrolling. Well, then be a parent and come up with rules for your children, right? Or anything like that. But no, I agree. It's not the government's place to be into privatize business. If it was bad for me, make it illegal. That's why we can't do drugs, right?
Yeah. Okay. And Trucker John wanted to call. Can we skip ahead to the one named Luigi, Kevin? Yeah, you know what this one is going to be about. Go ahead.
Hey, I just had a thought about this Luigi whack job dude. So the guy who quote-unquote, allegedly killed the CEO. So they have that manifesto on him, and we've all heard it read by now. And there's a line in there that I heard that I haven't heard anybody else talk about, where he talks about these people had it coming. I'm kind of thinking that the CEO is just number one on the list. I think this guy had more targets, and he just got caught before he could enact any more plans.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of people thought that he was going to just keep going if he weren't caught. But if he didn't want to be caught, why would he sit down and have a meal at McDonald's?
We gave him way too much credit from the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he was a mafia hitman. I thought all this stuff. And I'm like, he got caught with the weapon, the manifesto, the silencer, everything. Mm-hmm. He's the dumbest guy ever.
He wanted to get caught.
Yeah. There's no way you keep all of that.
Yeah, he wanted to be famous for doing it, and he had his moment. He's set to appear tomorrow at an extradition hearing in Pennsylvania, and he faces 1 count of first-degree murder in furtherance of terrorism, 2 counts of second-degree murder, including a count of murder in the second degree as an act of terrorism. Okay, we've got to take a break because Jason Hammer is going to join us next. It's 93 WIBC.
Oh, yeah, baby. Hammer and Nigel show 3:06 this afternoon. Tony Kennett will join us. And did the state of Indiana kill a guy? We'll talk about it. 93 WIBC.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com.
If you want a 100% complimentary stay at a luxury resort in Cancun, airfare not included, then Family Vacation Getaways is your ticket to paradise. See website for complete details. We're giving away 5 days and 4 nights to the first 50 callers who can name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. An animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. Do you know it? Call now. 800-428-7054. 800-428-7054. You're also eligible for an exciting bonus vacation to Orlando, Florida for just $398. And don't worry about anything ruining your plans. We can extend your travel up to 18 months. Name an animal that lays eggs and is not a bird. And you get a complimentary Cancun resort stay and an optional bonus vacation to Orlando for just $398. What are you waiting for? Call 800-428-7054. 800-428-7054 and give us your answer.
The preceding is not a contest and is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways and not sponsored by this program or its affiliates.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Somebody let Jerry Lopez know that it was in fact the dude who said that Christopher Cross was a one-hit wonder.
What?
I'll let him know he was incorrect.
That's blasphemy.
I'll be more than happy to correct him later. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. And wow, there's a lot of good-looking men in the studio right now. Jerry Lopez filling in for Rob Kendall today. And from the #1 rated Hammer and Nigel program, we have Jason Hammer and Nigel.
Hey now.
Casey, it's just like your college days. 4 dudes all hanging out in your room.
Wait a minute.
Wowzer.
Where did you get the Radiothon swag? The 30th anniversary Hammer, did you get one of those shirts?
I did not.
Where did you get that?
I asked for it, and
Well,
I went
that
and
must be
fished it
nice.
out of a box. It's really soft and comfortable, too.
I was told they didn't make them in husky size, so we didn't get one.
You and I are out. Then.
Large and
Never
tall.
mind.
Yeah, no, mine's a schmedium.
So Nige and I this afternoon, we got a lot going on, right? So Governor Braun, incoming
Governor-elect Braun
is going to be coming in.
Did you hear him say that WIBC was his favorite radio station?
Well, of course he's going to say that, though, right? Like he's on IBC.
I think
he did
meant
bring
it.
us beers before.
He has. But I bet, like, if you go to, like, a WWE event in Milwaukee, you're going to hear The Rock go out there. Milwaukee is the best crowd I've ever been to.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
Playing
I'm
it
sure
up.
if he goes on to Whoa, he might say, Whoa is my favorite radio station.
What Kamala say? What city are we in?
Right.
Detroit!
That's bad. Like, I want to ask Mike Braun. I mean, we already heard about policy and the cabinet and stuff like that. I kind of want to know, like, the logistics and the practical stuff. Like, do you get a beer fridge in the governor's office? You know what I mean? Like, do you know where the bathroom's at?
Right.
Do you have a special private area?
I think he says that when it comes to beer, he drinks Mick Ultra.
He brought us Sun King, I think.
He
I feel
did.
like a couple of years ago.
He did.
Like when
kept
he was
it in
live
Indiana.
studio.
And we'll get into some meat and potato stuff, too, because
course.
omnibus, you know, that whole big spending thing. So it's almost going to be like 2 conversations. At first, I want to talk to current Senator Mike Braun.
Right.
You know, have you been briefed on the drones? You know, is anybody trying to bust Chris Ray's balls or anything right now? And then incoming governor.
Yeah.
You know, Braun, we had an execution earlier today. You cool with that? You know, what's going on with that? And then we'll have some fun stuff, too.
Yeah. I did ask him yesterday, what should we call you? Because technically he is still a senator, but he's also the governor-elect. And he said either one works, or you can just call me Mike.
Okay.
Mikey
Can we call him
is-
Magic Mike? Would that work?
But Mikey.
Yeah.
Mikey.
I think you can.
Mikey likes it.
Mikey's in favor of executions, which, by the way, we were talking before we came on here. And we're going to be hitting this execution this afternoon because you know me. I was up partying all night.
Yeah.
If you were given your last meal request, because this guy, I guess, had like Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Yeah.
What would be your last meal, Nige?
Oh, good question.
Man, something from St. Elmo, like just a nice big fat steak, maybe a ribeye, maybe a filet medium, and then the potatoes and whatever. It's something along those lines.
Yeah.
Now, Jerry,
Okay,
you
man,
went a different route.
Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm here. I'm going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off. I want 2 grilled cheese sandwiches. I want a gallon of vitamin D. I want just everything. When you light me on fire, it's going to be a dirty bomb.
They're going to have to clean up a mess if they're going to get rid of
I'm
you.
dead. You got to throw your clothes away.
Yeah, I'd have to go with a big Mexican dish or a large pizza from Bronzini's and Speedway.
Oh,
something
there
like
you
that.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eat the whole thing by myself.
Do you have a go-to Mexican place near where you live?
We go to El Masan a lot of
Oh,
times.
yeah, we
That's
have one of those in our
strip
area.
mall Mexican.
I believe that's
Yeah.
Spanish for the paper.
Is it?
I have no idea. I'm totally making that up.
The paper.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No, but I have
at
El
all.
Mason right by where I live, too. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. And then El Toro as well. Oh, man.
That's what I would do.
So
What would you eat?
Probably the same thing Nige mentioned. You got to get a big steak. Like if they're paying for it, like this is my last meal, go big or go home, right?
Yeah.
Although there is something noble to making them clean something up, like Jerry said. Give
I
me
want
a
this to be
crave-
memorable for them, Jason.
crave case of White Castle,
There
a
it
few
is.
warm Budweisers, and
Let me do a couple of jumping jacks.
some prune juice. But yeah, man, we're gonna have a good time this afternoon, and Tony Kennett will be calling in as well. Are you into this IU Notre Dame football game, Jerry?
I mean, listen, I'm trying to save my salvation, so I got to root for the Catholics. But I'm super excited. I hate that they have to play each other. I don't like that at all. I think it's great for Indiana, but I would have loved to see them play other teams.
But the good thing about this, at least one Indiana team moves on to the second round.
For sure. And
Like
then
you
to
get
face
another
who?
week to root for an Indiana team.
Who does a winner play?
Georgia.
Oh, gosh.
But it could be Georgia with a backup quarterback. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad for them because their starter's been struggling, but, I'm sure it's some Mr. Football 5-star All-American from somewhere, but it could be their backup quarterback because their starter got roughed up the week before.
Now, I'll tell you what, I'm a big Army fan, and after seeing what Navy did to them, I'm so happy they didn't make the 12 because they would have got embarrassed.
Is it bad that Joe Biden never attended a single Army-Navy game in 4 years as Commander-in-Chief?
He's in charge of, we just talked about this.
Yeah.
You're in charge of those
Commander-in-Chief.
Go support them.
Yeah.
Just show up at the game. Like, you don't have to go out there for fear of getting booed or anything, but be in the suite, flip a coin, do something.
These are the people you're sending to possibly put their lives on the line for your country, and you can't go say thank you?
Yeah.
And the reception for Trump, I'm assuming, was out of control.
Oh, yeah.
They only showed him for like 4 seconds.
Of course.
Literally. They just showed
Well,
him.
he's no Taylor Swift.
Right.
Keep
in mind.
him and they were done. Like, it was him, Vance. I thought Elon was there. I think,
Mike Johnson, I believe. And it also
Mike
looked like Joe
Johnson was
Manchin was there for a little bit.
Tulsi, I believe, was there. Pete Hegseth was there.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Daniel Penny was in their suite, too.
Yeah. So it was a crowded room there. But did you see the IU's Kurt Signetti? He was named the AP Coach of the Year for college football. So what does that say? You win this big award on Tuesday, and then you have to play this big game where all eyeballs are going to be on Friday. Does that add more pressure, or does it matter?
I mean, that's how college football's always done it. Like, I remember, the first, major college championship that I remember was, I think it was, 85, 86. Vinny Testaverde had won the Heisman Trophy for Miami, and he followed that up by getting his ass handed to him by Penn State in the national championship game.
So
it's a regular season award, right?
Yeah.
It really didn't have anything to do with the postseason.
At least they'll walk away with something. Well, thank you both for coming in. You disgusted me yesterday making out with Hillary Clinton. AI Nigel. That was
those
gross.
are great, Jason.
That was disturbing. If you haven't seen it, go to the Hammer and Nigel Twitter account.
Those are great.
That's a love story there.
Whoopee.
Who's
Hillary.
next on the list?
I don't want to know.
Neither do I. Thanks, guys. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, we provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
Downtown Indy, dressed in holiday style and glowing with bright lights and festive sights all season long. Gather with friends on Monument Circle to enjoy stunning holiday lighting and audio-visual presentations every night of the week. Create new memories while dining at award-winning restaurants just steps from your favorite attractions, sporting events, and performances. Come winter wander in downtown Indy. Come for an event, stay for a holiday experience. Visit IndyWonderland.com for all the details, including curated downtown holiday itineraries. That's IndyWonderland.com.
Big Joe here for your independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical. This holiday season, if you need them, they'll be there. B+W.com or 317-243-3581. For all your heating, plumbing, and electrical needs, B&W has served Indianapolis since 1961. 243-3581. That's 243-3581. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from your friends at B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer serving Central Indiana.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. The year-end clearance event is now through Monday. Save 50% off all in stock and special order Lazy Boy and Smith Brothers with extra discounts for cash and 12 months interest-free financing. That's every sofa, recliner, sectional, plus get a free large big green egg with select Tempur-Pedic and Stearns & Foster mattresses. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Life is a collection of moments that last forever, so make them matter and make them count with a symbol of everlasting love. A diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Coming up in 2 minutes, the man was guilty of murder and he was put to death overnight. Plus, the bill being put on Carroll County taxpayers when it comes to the Delphi murders trial, and a top defense versus a top offense. Let's look at the college football playoff. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recyclers Studios after Fox News Radio. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
This bill should not pass. I'm Chris Foster, Fox News. Elon Musk, advising President-elect Trump on federal government cost-cutting, posts just that on his X social media page about a 1,500-page short-term spending bill agreed to by congressional leaders, including House Speaker Mike Johnson. He tells Fox he was in touch with Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency co-chair Vivek Ramaswamy earlier last night, and none of them like the spending. But any bill needs votes from Democrats to pass.
We are clearing the decks, and we are setting up for Trump to come in roaring back with the America First agenda. That's what we're going to run with gusto beginning January 3rd when we start the new Congress, when Republicans, again, are in control.
No bill would mean a partial government shutdown starting Saturday. The House Ethics Committee votes to release its report on former Congressman Matt Gaetz, a reversal of an earlier plan. The release is expected once this session of Congress ends in a few days.
The report looks into a number of allegations that include an inappropriate relationship with a minor and illicit drug use, which Gaetz has consistently denied. House Republicans, including Speaker Mike Johnson and Majority Leader Steve Scalise, have argued the report shouldn't be released since Gaetz is no longer a member of Congress and therefore the committee doesn't have jurisdiction. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
President Biden's made his first public comments about drone sightings reported over the last month.
So far, there's no sense of danger from reported drones spotted by thousands of people in New Jersey and elsewhere, President Biden says.
Nothing nefarious, apparently, but they're checking it all out.
A spokesman for the National Security Council stresses more than 1 million drones are registered with the FAA, with thousands lawfully flying on any given day.
Fox's Jared Halpern. President-elect Trump on his Truth Social account says former House Republican Liz Cheney could be in a lot of trouble, accused by a group of current House Republicans of witness tampering during an investigation into the January 6, 2021 Capitol riot. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
He's been put to death. Radar is clear. It's cloudy and 39 downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. Joseph Corcoran, who was executed early this morning, was guilty of murdering 4 people in Fort Wayne back in 1997. Corcoran and his wife Tahina met and rather visited for the first time and the last time Tuesday.
We talked about the fact that we both believe in Jesus and that we believe someday that we will see each other again.
Corcoran was put to death at around 1:44 a.m. Eastern Time. His last words were, "Let's get this over with." Taxpayers in Carroll County are on the hook for about $2.5 million for the bill for the Delphi murders trial. The Carroll County auditor revealed the whopping number in a report released on Tuesday. $1.3 million of that was spent on Richard Allen's defense. He was found guilty and will be sentenced on Friday. Kroger deals with thousands of gift card transactions every day. With that, fraud is a concern when it comes to dealing with plastic payments.
So, as part of a layered fraud deterrent strategy, Kroger stores will be installing locking pegs on gift card racks, monitoring gift card activity, and more. I'm Sasha Nixon. Colleen Jurgensen, president of Kroger Central Division, says the new strategy makes it more difficult for scammers to break the law. Sasha Nixon, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
No one injured after two trucks caught on fire on I-70. The two semi-trucks crashed into each other in Hancock County on Tuesday. The incident shut down the roadway for about 2 hours. The Indiana football Hoosiers have one of the best run defenses in the country. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish have one of the best rushing attacks in the country. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love.
We talked about it. It's a challenge. They got a very good team, but I'm just going to focus on me and do what I got to do in whatever situation is presented.
IU and Notre Dame squaring off in the first round of the college football playoff in 2 days in South Bend. Vegas still has the odds for the Irish as 7-point favorites. I'm Kurt Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Exercise Inc. wants you to start changing your life in 20 minutes a week this month. It's Terry Stacy, and Exercise Inc. only makes this offer once a year in December. If you come in for a free consultation in the month of December, you'll get 2 free sessions just for trying it out, and you don't even have to sign up. Exercise Inc. is the 20-minute once-a-week workout program that will help you get stronger, have more energy, and just feel better. This program was developed to help women with osteoporosis, but it will help both men and women get a lot stronger. Their program will teach you simple nutritional habits that will help you lose weight and keep it off. More importantly, you'll have a coach who will hold you accountable in reaching your goals. You don't want to miss this offer. Come in for a free consultation in the month of December, and you'll get 2 free sessions just for trying it out. Exercise Inc. Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers, exerciseinc.com.
This hour on 93 WIBC, powered by Pierce Jewelers, Carmel's jewelry experts.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, December 18th. It's 5 minutes after 11. You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. My name is Casey Daniels. Rob Kendall not here today. He's got the day off until the end of the year, actually. And in the studio this morning, Jerry Lopez. You know him as Indy Spanglish on X. Thank you for joining us this morning. Let's talk about this new data from FBI, the FBI crime stats. They released this list, and it is the 10 most dangerous American cities as per FBI crime statistics. And what do they base this on? It's based on serious felonies recorded per every 100,000 people annually. The crimes include manslaughter, murder, assault, and robbery. And they claim that despite these high crime rates in certain cities, overall nationally, crime across the country is declining. Are you surprised about any of the cities on the list before we reveal which ones they are?
Just taking a quick look. I don't think there are any on this list that necessarily surprised me. The one that's a couple ahead of the one that's at the very bottom does surprise me that it's on there. The one in Ohio, but for the most part, not really.
Okay, so let's go over the FBI's top 10 most dangerous American cities list. In at number 1, they have St. Louis, Missouri. And they say that there are over 2,000 violent crimes per 100,000 people, and the homicide rates were particularly high, reaching a 50-year peak. They also have Detroit, Michigan on the list in the number 2 position. They have 2,056 violent crimes for every 100,000 people. Following that is Baltimore, Maryland. That one scares the crap out of me because, that's where my young adult daughter is now living. And when she moved there, I did a little research on Baltimore because I've heard for years, it's got the nickname Baltimore. And I did find out in an 80-mile radius where she lives, there are over 500 registered sexual offenders. And those are registered.
Is that PG County?
PG
I
County.
think Prince George's County, Maryland, maybe. I'll have to look that up.
No.
Okay.
No, it's not. But those are the ones we know about, Jerry. So imagine with the open border, how many people are coming in that aren't registered. Heck, they're not even legal citizens.
Yep.
You also have Memphis, Tennessee on it, Kansas City, Missouri, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Cleveland, Ohio.
That's the one that surprises me.
And Ohio City, Cleveland, Stockton, California, Albuquerque, New Mexico, and what?
We did it.
Indianapolis, Indiana. Congratulations. You made the top 10 most dangerous American cities per FBI.
That is
crime
crazy.
Statistics. Well, when you have a mayor who says things like, I ain't running for nothing, I'm running from something.
Yeah.
What do you expect? It's the same old, same old. You keep voting the same person in. How do you expect anything to change?
Is Ryan Mears going to have a party, or like, is he going to, is there a party that the prosecutor's office has after this number comes out? Like, they have a big part to do with this, right? A lot of these are reoffenders,
yeah,
right? Or as Hammer called them, mugshot on mugshot crime, right? That's part of this listing. We were talking about this a little earlier. They say that the crime is down overall nationally. And
wait a minute. Is it the crime that's down, or is it the reporting?
The
that's
reporting is down. The reporting is what's down, but they say crime is down, right? It's kind of like the article that Matt Hiblin sent us and said, they're teenagers are reporting, or teenagers that reported they're not using marijuana, and you replied instantly like, yeah, that reported.
Yeah, what was that email? I think that was something
marijuana use is down in teens or something.
He wanted us to discuss that, and he did send us that article, and it was, I'm trying to find it really quick, but it was something along the lines of marijuana use among teenagers in, what was it, 5th, 8th, and 12th grade, or 5th grade? I can't even imagine that. But it was that it was down. Marijuana use was down. And I thought, no, it was the reporting of marijuana use.
Same in this,
down.
right? So I guess there was a new way that cities could report their crime statistics. And the vast majority, and we're talking about New York City, LA, Miami, Chicago, the big ones, just didn't report stats to the FBI.
Well, and that's the thing, because you got to, we went over the list, and New York City's not on it.
Nope, Chicago's not on it.
LA's not on it. San Francisco's not on it. Chicago's not on it.
No Miami.
No, Miami's not on it. So their crime is either down or their reporting is down.
There it is.
So is Indianapolis reporting the truth, or is that actually what it is? That we're the 10th most dangerous American city?
I mean, even if the reporting is down, we're still in the top 20, regardless.
Yeah.
Right? Throw Miami, throw all those cities in there. We're still way too high for this little bitty city.
That's a good point, because you talk about it's per 100,000 people.
Right.
So you got to be doing a lot of damage to get that high on the list per 100,000 people. When you look at the population, like, we're much smaller.
I think we just went
New
over
York or Chicago
200
or LA.
murders, over 200 murders this past weekend.
Yeah.
Third year in a row.
Third year in a row.
The new norm.
I don't like the sounds of that at all. Jamie Knowles' conviction. You remember this guy? He was the former Indiana sheriff, sentenced to 15 years in prison. This after pleading guilty to 27 felonies in October. They included theft, corruption, official misconduct, and also tax evasion. Him and his estranged wife, they owe over $3 million in restitution for his crimes. And his properties, they're now currently on the market. So let's see, there's 3 in Jeffersonville. One on the market for $700,000, another for $496,000, and a third up for $302,000. And there's another property that's listed under his daughter's name, and this one that's listed for $700,000, built in 1893, has over 6,500 square feet. It's being liquidated along with a couple of the other properties. Has anybody ever found out, did Eric Holcomb know anything, and when did he know, and why did he not stop it or say anything?
Well, I will tell you this much, in Eric Holcomb's own words, if he did know something and he didn't say anything, well, he wouldn't change a damn thing about it, Casey. So,
right. Was he talking about Jamie Knoll, or is he talking about the pandemic?
In general, he just wouldn't change anything.
I wouldn't change anything. Nothing. I was great. I did everything perfect. So Jamie and Misty, they own a house in Naples, Florida. They purchased it in 2020 for $275,000. It's now valued valued at over $740,000. Not yet on the market, but there is an agreement to sell it. Of course, they're going to have to do that. And I mean, just imagine this restitution breakdown. Here you go. This is what Jamie Knoll owes. Not what he owns, what he owes. $2.8 million to the Utica Township Volunteer Firefighters Association, over $61,000 to the Clark County Sheriff's Department, over $35,000 to the Indiana State Police. He's got this fine from the judge of $270,000 and also over $173,000 owed to the Indiana Department of Revenue. Of course, he pled guilty to all the charges of corruption, theft.
That's a lot of theft.
Official misconduct, tax evasion, money laundering. Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, these are great full-time jobs. $173,000, $61,000, $35,000. Those are full-time jobs. And
They
he's
are.
just stealing money.
Mm-hmm. He's just taking it. And so his wife faces now 10 felonies, including theft and tax evasion. His daughter, 9 felonies.
Sucks.
I mean, that's
That
awful.
sucks. He drug her into that.
Well,
That
drug them
sucks.
both into it.
Yeah, that sucks.
I did ask Abdullah at one point, do you think his wife knew? And he was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
she knew. But the daughter, come on, man. That's
That sucks.
someone who had a future and gone now. Her trial is scheduled to begin on February 3rd. His wife's trial, followed by his daughter's trial. But again, where was Eric Holcomb? This is your governor who was besties with this guy, living this lavish lifestyle on everybody else's dime.
Right.
And did it not ever occur to him?
Aren't we technically paying both their salaries? Can they come answer for this?
Yeah. I mean, like,
when this was going on, we
didn't
were
red
paying
flags, come up about this? So speaking of real estate, you brought me this article, and I thought this is really interesting. There's a new real estate platform, and it's to show neighborhoods' political leanings to prospective home buyers.
Yeah.
It's a new tool. It's launched by, how do you say it? It's not Odyssey. It's OC. It's going to allow users to view the political leanings of neighborhoods they might consider moving to. How do they have that information?
Well, I can tell you, I do it. Just drive around the neighborhood and look for American flags. That's all.
Right.
That's all conservatives.
Right.
right. Really easy.
So
you see a fist. You see the Palestine. That's all liberals.
Mm-hmm. You see the rainbow flag.
All liberals.
Not going to move there.
Boom. I told somebody. I said the campaign signs in your front yard do less to influence who I'm going to vote for than to let me know who the idiots in my neighborhood are.
Mm-hmm. So I've got an American flag out on my porch, and I know all of and I'm surrounded by a lot of rainbow flags, and I know a lot of my neighbors know. Oh, well.
She voted for Trump.
She voted for Trump. Exactly.
Yeah.
And when I've tried to engage with one of my neighbors, the answer that I get all the time is, let's just keep it friendly. I don't want to have to worry about all that.
No. Well, you know what? I had to worry
I'm
about.
not trying to start something.
I will.
Honestly
I
just
don't
want to
care.
have a conversation with you.
I want to start it every time, Casey, because for the past 4 years, they've been nothing but butt heads to us, all right? Dragging Trump into court and suing him for this and doing this and talking crazy about everybody. And now when you got ran out of the building, you want me to be nice. It's like when Palestine attacked Israel, and then Israel started blowing them the heck up, and they're like, well, you guys are going overboard. You don't get to make that distinction anymore.
Yeah, you lost that
You
opportunity
lost.
already.
Elections have results.
So 25% of Americans are strongly influenced by politics when deciding where they're going to live. So a quarter of people would find this app very handy.
I wouldn't say by politics, but sometimes politics do obviously influence where you live, right?
Well, let's talk about going back to the story about the 10 most dangerous cities.
All liberal
according
cities.
to yes.
Yeah, all of them.
So it does influence, and it would persuade you, I think, in many different ways.
I would like to know how many of those places lowered the police budget.
That's a good question. Of course, here we just got the contract renewed. Liberals are more likely, 30% than conservatives, to consider their political views as important, choosing where they want to live.
I believe it. They can stay over there. I don't have a problem with that.
Don't cross my side of the
No,
street.
no.
Okay, should we open up the phone lines? We said we were going to get calls from people. We want to talk.
Let's see if it's drones, aliens, us,
Drones,
China.
aliens. If you've got a theory, anything you want to talk about with the drones, do you have concerns? What is on your mind when these drone stories keep headlining everything? The phone number 317-239-9393. It's 317-239-9393. It is the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Donald Trump has invited President Xi to the inauguration. Your thoughts, Nigel?
It's total power move.
This is what I expect. On the day of the inauguration, he forces President Xi to eat McDonald's. Like when he brought RFK Jr. into his cabinet, has to sit down and eat a Big Mac. Like, wouldn't you love to see President Xi sitting down eating a Big Mac?
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hey, Rob, did you know that the Social Security Trust Fund is expected to run out of money in less than 10 years?
Casey, I refuse to believe that our government might be letting the public down at large.
Well, according to Barron's, an average couple could lose up to $16,500 every year in Social Security income. Multiply that by 10 or 20 years, and it could easily add up to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
And that's why it's critical you have the right strategy to file for Social Security. Discover how you could wring every nickel out of your benefits with a free, customized Social Security analysis.
It's from Bill Demery. He's your retirement guy in Indy. He's also our retirement guy. We trust Bill, and you can too.
If you've saved more than $200,000 and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis now by calling 317-932-9912.
That's 317-932-9912.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
Quiet down. Here she comes. Surprise! Your accountant just emailed to say your quarterly taxes are way higher than you were expecting.
At Progressive, we know small business owners don't usually like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting discounts with a commercial auto quote from Progressive.
Also, your favorite employee is leaving. They're going to pursue their dream of being a veterinarian.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Guys, what are you waiting for? For that special Christmas gift, let Pierce Jewelers bring that sparkle back into her life with a diamond from Pierce Jewelers. Shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
The mystery drone saga continues. President Biden yesterday said that the sightings were nothing nefarious, apparently. Seems like somewhat of a lackadaisical attitude towards it. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. And Kevin, do we have somebody on the phone who wants to talk about drones?
Yeah, we got Mike from Speedway up first.
All right, Mike, what's on your mind?
Hey, so there were some people that they had interviewed, and they said those drones were pretty huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so what is pretty huge to them? And then somebody said that one of them was the size of a car, and that's kind of concerning because down here on the south side of Indy, I actually had seen a drone spray. They were crop dusting over a cornfield, and that thing was not small. So the question is, what could they carry? They could carry anything. If they have that kind of power, and they have, that could be pretty dangerous.
That's a really good point. Thank you for the phone call.
I think if they were carrying something, they would have dropped it by now. They've been flying around for almost a full week.
Yeah.
I think it's more likely they're looking for something versus carrying something.
Yeah. So the Wright Pat Air Force Base, which is located in Dayton, Ohio, they said that they were small unmanned aerial systems, and they ranged in sizes and configurations. They reported that the airspace wasn't affected, but then why did the base shut down for a few hours if the airspace wasn't affected?
Yeah.
But he brings up a really good point. How big are they? Because we have heard different reports that they're the size of cars.
Well, and you can get drones on the market now. So let's say there are a couple military-style drones, big ones the size of cars. What stops us or me and my kids from pulling our drone out to go up there to see what's going on? Now you have hobbyists with the military people. And
Right. I do know that when they reach a certain size that you do have to be licensed.
Yep.
Because a lot
Or a
of
certain height.
Right. A lot of the TV stations will use drones, whether it's to shoot aerial B-roll or traffic reports. And for example, WSBT in northern Indiana, they have their aerial drone, and the person who mans it actually has a license. He had to go to school, he had to get certified. That
Is it
sort of
big?
thing. Yeah, because it's a bigger one, because it does go up higher. So at a certain point, you do have to have a license. So for them to sit here and say that these are all hobbyists,
Right.
Okay,
You got to be really good.
Are
to fly
they all
at nighttime.
licensed?
Well, to fly at nighttime too, you got to be really good. We had a drone when they first came out, and I took it so high I couldn't tell which way it was facing.
And so what did you do? Just
We
bring
just
it back
brought
down?
it down and ran
Yeah.
that direction and
Yeah.
found it in somebody's yard or something. But like that at nighttime, you got to know what you're doing, I would think.
Yeah, but that is definitely a concern. Is there a payload in those drones? Well, I don't know. Maybe your government will tell you. Doubt it. Here's another phone call, 317-239-9393. Kevin, who's on the line?
We got John from Frankfort.
All right, John, what do you think?
I have seen, actually on the news and on the internet, there was a news crew that took their video was showing basically a great big crystal-like looking ball that was oscillating, and and then it was moving in ways that normal aircraft don't move. And it makes me wonder if we don't have a whole combination of things, because there is a little bit of talk starting on UFO stuff. And if that were the case, I can see the government putting out their drones just to confuse the matter.
Okay. John, do you think it's aliens? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't know. Number one, I kind of believe in the alien thing, but I don't know as these are. I wouldn't be surprised some of them are, but it wouldn't surprise me that they're not either.
Yeah, so that's a good point. He's saying that, you've got the orb-shaped ones that I saw a video of somebody, and, it's hard to tell if the videos that you're seeing are legit or not. This one was not community noted, but you still don't know. If the orb-shaped ones were up very high, and the video that I saw was somebody taking it from a plane at 30,000 feet. Are the other drones up there to see what the other drones are?
Well, didn't we say we really don't believe? So what reason do we have to believe that they lost some insignificant amount of radioactive material? We don't know. We're just believing that
'Cause they
story
told
too.
us? Right.
So maybe it is the freaking aliens. We don't know anything.
Alejandro Mayorkas said that officials, they've deployed...
That dude's let in more aliens than anybody I know.
Illegal aliens, yeah, exactly. He said that we've deployed extra resources to look into the sightings, and we'll let the public know if there are reason for concern.
Thanks.
He said, we are on it. Now, do you believe this guy?
No, he's
at
not on
all?
anything. He's not on this one job.
Right, exactly. Okay, we've got time for one more phone call. Kevin, who's on the line?
Yeah, we got Buzz from Anderson.
Hi, Buzz. What do you think?
Hey, I'll tell you what. I've seen this movie before, man. we let three of our non-human intelligence let loose, and we're searching for him. E.T. just wants to go home, man.
Hey, Buzz. Just is your last name Aldrin or?
No. It's E. Buzz Miller.
Had to check. I didn't know if you knew a little bit more than the rest of us.
Yeah, no.
Thanks for the fun this morning, Buzz. Okay, so there was this guy who put out his response. He's a Southern gentleman, and he's saying, Kevin, you ready for this one? That if the North isn't going to take care of business with the drones, that the South has it covered.
I love it.
Sit down and shut up. We got work to do. I've got our plans together. If the North's not going to take care of business, and we sure as hell know the government's not, we're going to have to take matters into our own hands. So listen up, listen close. Oklahoma, you're kicking us off. Get those radars ready and get your storm chasers mobile. If it's in the sky, you're going to see it before any of us. Kentucky, Missouri, North Carolina, and the Virginias, you're on recon. With mountain men and backwoods know-how, you'll spot the drones before they see us, and you can help us track them. Now, Texas, you're our heavy firepower. But please don't try to barbecue it afterward. Louisiana and Mississippi, you're on the ground. Swap tactics and gator stealth. Just give them the works. And when this is over, you're in charge of telling our legacy. But do us a favor and keep it brief. We don't have all day. Alabama and Tennessee, you're on diversion duty. Between football rivalries and banjos, you'll confuse the hell out of those drones and keep morale through the roof. Now, Georgia and South Carolina, you're running the mess hall. Sweet tea, fried chicken, shrimp, grits, you're feeding the troops and keeping them sharp. New Mexico, you're our wild card with desert camouflage and Area 51 know-how. If this is alien tech, we're counting on you to handle it.
Yeah.
And now, Florida, you're the backup. If things go sideways, we're calling on y'all. If these drones are aliens, let's be honest, you've probably seen worse at the local gas station, so it shouldn't faze you. Just take care of business. All right, folks, that's it. The South has handled worse with less, and I'll be damned if we don't have this handled by supper.
If Indiana was called upon, what would we be responsible for? We've got the soybeans and corn.
That's it. Got good tenderloins.
There you go. It's the Kendall Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
This winter, cozy up with a match made in cocoa heaven. Introducing Swiss Miss Schmallow, the perfect pairing of Schmallow, the original toasted marshmallow whiskey from Hotel Tango Distillery, and Swiss Miss Hot Cocoa. You've tried Schmallow before. Now Hotel Tango Distillery is taking it up a notch with this fantastic collaboration with Swiss Miss. Imagine rich, creamy cocoa swirling with a hint of toasted marshmallow warmth. It's a sip of comfort like no other. From cold weather gatherings to quiet nights in, Swiss Miss Schmallow is here to add a touch of sweet nostalgia with an adult twist. Warm up your season. Grab Swiss Miss Schmallow before it's gone. Find it at your local store and toast to the taste of winter. Swiss Miss Schmallow, where cozy meets a little bit of kick. Sip responsibly. Must be 21 or older to purchase alcohol. Available where fine spirits are sold. HotelTangoDistillery.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
The charges against him. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. Luigi Mangione is facing murder and terrorism charges in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangione is accused of shooting Thompson to death on a Manhattan street earlier this month. The state executed Joseph Corcoran early this morning at the state prison in Michigan City. Advocates and clergy against the death penalty prayed outside the prison as the sentence was being carried out.
We live in a very violent culture, and the more we feed into that cycle of violence, even through state means, it weakens our culture.
Gary Archbishop Robert McClory. Corcoran was put to death at 1:44 a.m. Eastern Time. His last words were, "Let's get this over with." Butler faces Marquette tonight as they begin Big East play. Tip-off at 9 o'clock. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Trusted steel power in the palm of your hand. This holiday season, save $30 on the GTA 26 handheld garden pruner. Now just $149.99. Check off a gift from the top of their wish list and make trimming tree limbs a breeze with a lightweight design and 4-inch cutting bar. Visit your local steel dealer today or shop online at steelusa.com. Was $179.99 MSRP. Includes battery and charger. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Express the heartwarming message of Christmas this year. Let a Pierce Jewelers diamond engagement ring be that special moment that says, I love you. Remember, shop local, shop smart, shop Pierce Jewelers.
Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
Joe Biden said in an interview that he is in favor of a ban on stock trading by members of Congress. He's finally taking a position on the issue that has been the subject of a lot of discussion and proposed legislation for years. Isn't that nice? On his way out the door, he's going to tell you, I don't know if we should be doing that.
I mean, anybody with any kind of integrity should have been for this from the beginning. When you are the one deciding where American dollars go, you should not be able to hedge your bet with private stocks.
Right.
Like Nancy Pelosi's the best trader ever.
Hello. It's because she's getting information before anybody else.
She's been a public employee now for her whole career, basically.
Yeah.
So her salary is public information. So how is she worth $157 million when she makes
$250 a year?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Nancy Pelosi, did you hear she broke her hip?
No.
You didn't hear that?
No.
She was on.
It's not my algorithm.
Yeah, she was on a congressional tour over to commemorate the Battle of the Bulge, and while she was, where was it? She was in Belgium. Luxembourg, and she fell and she broke her hip. And Representative McCall from Texas, he was with her. The thing that happened is apparently she slipped on the very last stair, broke her hip, stood up, posed for a picture, and then was rushed off to a hospital in Germany. But Representative McCall from Texas, he was there, and he describes the incident.
She's doing well. She had a hip replacement. I was right next to her. She likes to wear high heels, very high. She was on one of her last steps on this marble staircase that didn't have a railing, and she lost her footing and fell to the ground. I immediately helped pick her up, and we took a picture. After that, you can see me holding her up by her hand, and then very soon thereafter, a vehicle showed up, and she was taken to the hospital. I wish her a speedy recovery. She was transported from Luxembourg to Ramstein, and specifically the Longstuhl Hospital, where I believe she currently is, having a hip replacement. She's 84, but when I talked to her on the phone, she had a lot of energy, very spunky. She wants to get out of there. She wants to be able to fly back home to the United States. Overall, she's in good spirits, and there's no more health danger to her other than, a hip replacement.
Thank you very much. Then walking.
We should have rang the bell every time this costs taxpayers money. So Nancy, if she comes back and she continues to serve, she's going to have to make her money the old-fashioned way by selling the Pelosi name.
Yeah.
Legislation banning congressional stock trading. It's been introduced repeatedly over the years.
Well, of course they'll put it in now once she leaves, though, Casey.
Right. It's never been passed by Congress, but why would they? Why would they pass
the same,
this legislation?
who has to pass, what is it called, term limits? Them.
Right, the same people who would be term limited.
Why would
right?
they?
Yeah. It's so let's go back to McCall. He was getting interviewed, and he's got a take on drones. Listen to this.
Yeah, we want answers. But the response that I'm getting is that we don't know whose drones these are. I was with the NASA administrator, Bill Nelson. He said that these drones have been reported over military sites, military bases. I would not think those are friendly. I would think those are adversarial. In fact, NASA seems to be picking up more than our military is with respect to the drones.
So he's saying that they're coming from adversaries like China.
I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Yeah. So which one is it?
I mean, before it was nothing new, right? That was a general, nothing new. This is a guy saying China. Other people are saying we lost radiation and they're just looking for radioactive material. Some people think it's aliens. It's 2024 and he's been flying around our country for over a week. It reminds me of the Chinese spy balloon. Everyone's like, what is that thing? I don't know.
And the scary thing is it could be anyone or all of the above.
No clue.
You don't know. And if you were given an honest answer, would you even believe it?
At this point, I hope it's aliens stopping the other three.
I think the interesting part about that McCall statement, the dude wasn't even in the country.
No.
He comes back from being gone. He was gone.
I think it was China.
Right. And he's like, well, I know. But did he get a briefing? A classified briefing? If it's nothing innocuous, why a classified briefing?
Let's see what he says when he gets back and gets briefed, because then maybe his answer will change. I have nothing to say about da-da-da.
Right. I retract my statement. Yeah. So Donald Trump has filed another defamation lawsuit, and he has vowed to continue suing media outlets and influencers over their coverage. ABC settled that $15 million defamation lawsuit with Trump, and that goes back to the March 24 interview that George Stephanopoulos he had with Nancy Mace. You remember that interview, don't you?
Yep.
Well, in case you forget, here it is.
I still get judged for it today.
I'm asking you a very simple question.
And I answered it. You're shaming me for my political choices.
I'm asking you a question about why you endorse someone who's been found liable for rape.
It was not a criminal court. This was
a civil court.
It was a civil court. And by the way, she joked about the judgment and what she was going to do with all that money, and I find that offensive.
I'm asking you
but
about
as a rape victim who's been shamed for years now because of her rape, you're trying to shame me again by asking me this political question.
You've repeated that again.
I think it's offensive.
Okay, so ABC News forced to pay Donald Trump $50 million in this defamation lawsuit stemming from that interview. And now the mainstream media is all up in arms because he's also filed a lawsuit against the Iowa Register.
He should.
Based on that Ann Seltzer poll that was completely bogus. And they're all crying foul.
You see the View? Legal note.
Yeah,
exactly. They're all terrified. He should sue them all.
What's her face had to do like 4 or 5 of those
Sunny.
in a
Sunny
row.
Hostin?
Sunny, yeah. She had to do 4 or 5 of those in a row. But where were they when the non-mainstream media news outlets were all sued? Fox and was it Newsmax?
Tucker had to be let go.
Yeah, for the whole Dominion thing.
Yep.
They were sued for defamation and
Giuliani's broke.
Right. And they were all cool with it. Yep. And now that the tables have turned, they're all so super upset about it. Listen to Jake Tapper. He is all upset about this lawsuit against ABC.
Going to be bringing one against the people in Iowa, their newspaper. We're filing one on 60 Minutes. We're involved in one which has been going on for a while and very successfully against Bob Woodward. We have one very interestingly on Pulitzer because reporters at the New York Times, Washington Post got Pulitzer Prizes for their wonderful, accurate, and highly professional reporting on the Russia hoax.
We don't have time to go into all of that, but just to touch base on a couple. There's one of them is the people of Iowa, the Des Moines Register. That's because there was a poll that was inaccurate. Mm-hmm. The one on 60 Minutes is because they didn't like the editing that had been done to the Kamala Harris.
From Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I mean, This is wildly ridiculous.
Oh, okay. It's called accountability.
Yeah, how about this? I got this list.
And that's the problem.
You ready for some of these? How about the BY student hurled racist insults at the Duke volleyball player? That was fake. January 6th insurrection, mostly peaceful protests.
Oh, right.
Ivermectin is a horse dewormer and not for humans. Don't say gay, right? The Don't Say Gay bill. Cloth mask prevents COVID. Build Back Better will pay for itself. Russia collusion, Jussie Smollett, the Covington kids, Bubba Wallace in the garage pulled down. I mean, we can go, I have 30 things on this list right here that are all fake stories told by the news.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what you said, like, even if they said it, would we even believe them anymore?
Right. They just don't want to be held accountable. They don't want anybody questioning them. Well, they're journalists, air quote, and they think that they're above everybody else. And quite frankly, Jake Tapper sounds like he's just a little bit nervous about what could potentially be coming his way as well. The Library of Congress has added 25 films to their National Film Registry, and this is to celebrate culture, history, and aesthetically significant movies. Have you seen the list of movies that they're putting in the Library of Congress?
No, but there is one on this list that is my favorite series of all time.
Your favorite series?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's the Beverly Hills Cop.
It is.
I'm not going to fall for a banana in the tailpipe.
I will watch all of those every time they're on.
Eddie Murphy's breakout film. And that's the one that helps solidify him in a comedy. So, yeah, that one's going to be put into the Library of Congress. You also have Dirty Dancing, iconic film starring Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey. I'm kind of, I don't know how I feel about this, honestly, because yes, it is a piece of movie history, but does something like this line really belong in the Library of Congress?
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody puts baby in the corner. I'm not going to fall for a banana in the tailpipe. Do they need to be in there?
They have to. They're such a part of pop culture. Yeah, they're such a part of pop culture.
Okay.
100%. Now, do you have to stop? Because, like, the new Beverly Hills Cop should not be in there. That one's horrible.
But no, they're putting the original in there, right?
Yeah.
They say that there's different criteria.
Police Academy should be in there.
That's a good one. The oldest film going in is from 1895. Now, something like that I can see, right? It's very historical. I don't know. I feel like it's wrong that they're choosing movies from my youth to go into the Library of Congress because they're historical.
So
I'm taking it personal. Library of Congress.
Are we born before or after Beverly Hills Cop? Because that would make us historical as well.
Right, exactly. It's the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
The table, and boy, is it hefty. We'll go over this embarrassment just like your parents with your latest report card on tonight's show, 7 p.m. See you there.
The holidays are a time for reflection on what matters most and the relationships that make life meaningful. At Trajan Wealth, we're proud to be a trusted partner for many of you on your financial journey. Whether you're planning for tomorrow or looking to build a legacy, we believe in doing what's right every time. As a veteran-owned company, I know trust isn't given, it's earned through honesty, integrity, and a commitment to putting our clients' needs first. For those of you who have heard my commercials for years but haven't yet called, know that most of our clients come to us from other financial advisors. Our expert team, who has hearts of teachers, promises not to waste your time. This is more than our duty, this is our passion. So, this holiday season, let us help you unwrap the gift of Trajan Wealth. Call 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Maintenance is going to drastically increase the efficiency and performance of your system. It's also going to significantly improve the longevity of it. People think that they are saving money by skipping their maintenance, and in reality, they're just shaving years off the life and increasing the consumption of that unit, spending a lot more in the long term.
Get your tune-up today at Family Heating and Air, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
This holiday, shop at Hellsberg and get up to 50% off select jewelry, like a unique engagement ring to say,
I want to spend my life with you.
a stunning tennis bracelet that says,
You thought I forgot our anniversary?
or huggy hoop earrings that tell her.
See, I was listening.
Come to the Hellsberg Holiday Sale and get up to 50% off select engagement rings and fine jewelry. A perfect gift designed with the love and care worthy of your story. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Activate your passion to become more environmentally friendly and help save our planet, all while getting rid of your electronic waste year-round. Technology Recyclers provide secure, safe data destruction, backed by R2, NAID, and RIO certification. A promise to remain landfill-free and free e-waste pickup for your business. Join Technology Recyclers' purpose-driven mission to be the official sponsors of tomorrow by calling 1-800-237-3887 or visit tech-recyclers.com.
Nobody likes a cold shower. LD Smith has hot deals on water heaters. Save up to $300 on a new water heater install.
LD Smith Plumbing.
A dirty, stinking honest.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is making its way back to Gamebridge Fieldhouse on December 19th with an all-new show, The Lost Christmas Eve Tour. For tickets and more information, head to WIBC.com.
Don Jr. has a new girlfriend. Apparently, she's rubbing people the wrong way. You know, he ended his engagement with Kimberly Guilfoyle. And then what did Don Jr. do? Is go to his dad and say, can you get her out of the country?
Not a bad job for your ex-girlfriend. Like,
Right.
ever been dumped and then you're the ambassador to some beautiful foreign nation?
Right? It's
Sign
like,
me up.
That's like the consolation prize of the breakup. Honey, I don't want to be with you anymore, but you know what? We're going to make you ambassador to Greece instead.
Sign me up.
Right? I'll withstand the heartache of the heartbreak for, for an ambassadorship. But now Don Jr., he's got a new girlfriend. Her name is Bettina Anderson. She's 38 years old. She's from Florida. And apparently some people within MAGA, they're a little concerned about some of her social media posts, some of her views, people believing that she could be a liability to Donald Trump and his administration. A lot of her views, she was supporting COVID mask mandates and also BLM movements. So I could see where people are concerned. But here's what she's done. She's reportedly seeking a philanthropic role in the upcoming Trump administration. How long? They haven't been together that long. It seems like it's a little soon for her to be like, hey, can I have a gig with your dad's administration?
Yeah, I see situations like this, and I'm like, surely Don Jr. knows that this babe is just trying to hitch her wagon to his cart, right?
Right.
But then I think he's just another dumb guy like the rest of us. He's probably in love and completely blindsided by the whole thing. I'm not worried about her more than I'm worried about his dad throwing the whole thing off. So, you know, I think the Trump family has got to have the gold digger template down, right?
I was going to say, I mean,
they know. They're prepared for this.
Don't you think they all have to sign NDA agreements?
I would think.
Like you're going to be in a relationship with one of these people.
Like their family knows how this works.
Let's get you a contract and make sure it's all locked down before you start spilling the beans about
They're probably not
anything.
serious because she's still talking.
Yeah.
Right? Because once they get serious, that NDA probably comes out.
She's talking to the wrong people, right?
Well,
she's saying the wrong things. I don't know. But there's also the other side where you've got one of Trump's kids who's got this girlfriend and not everything she is saying or has said completely aligns with the Trump message versus Joe Biden's son.
Right.
And all of his shenanigans. So, which would you rather have?
Not the crackhead.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're Trump, you're like, yeah, okay.
She wore
go
a
ahead.
mask.
Right. And there's also the possibility that has happened to many people over the past couple of years that they have completely changed their opinions.
Yeah, and that's allowed.
Yeah.
We like to say in society, like it's, oh, you wore you believed in COVID. I mean, we all there for a second were scared. I don't care who you are.
Yeah. So she could possibly have changed her opinion, and rather than delete past posts, she just own it. Yeah, that's what I thought then. This is what I think now. Maybe she still agrees with everything she said, and that's just the way it is. She's going to stand by it.
And who are we to judge, right? Some people out here believe in their baby daddy for the 25th time. Leave Don Jr. alone.
So we mentioned it earlier. Curt Cignetti, he's won the Associated Press Coach of the Year award. He collected 30 out of 45 votes from the AP top 25 voters. I'm kind of surprised that you're going to be cheering for good old Notre Dame in the game.
Why? At the end of the day, listen,
I guess
the pearly gates are not in Bloomington, Casey.
That's true. I guess I just assumed that anybody who's in the Indianapolis area is automatically rooting for IU.
And also with you. That's where I was born and come from. I'm just a straight Catholic boy. I have to cheer for them.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, and I am happy for IU. I'm happy for Cignetti. It's beautiful to have an IU football team that is actually being talked about. I mean, they were non-existent for forever. So to have them, I hope IU basketball. I'm an Indiana homer. I just hate that they have to play each other. But since they do, give me Notre Dame.
So Cignetti said, thank you to the Associated Press for this tremendous team honor. Our program has had a great season, and we look forward to opening the college football playoff against Notre Dame on Friday. Now, Notre Dame, have you ever been to a game?
I have not.
Okay. Historically very quiet, and if you actually stand up, an usher in his yellow vest.
So it's like Catholic church. Very quiet, standing, sitting, standing, sitting, standing, sitting.
Except you'll have an usher in his yellow vest come over to you and tell you to sit down. But they have added something new this year, and they're going to be doing it on the game on Friday, that for the third down, you're going to hear this noise. Yeah. To get the crowd pumped up.
There you go. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Which is something new. They just recently even started playing, like the loud music during TV timeouts and that sort of thing to get the crowd pumped up. Somebody actually woke up and said, the fans want to be excited and the players want the fans to make some noise.
Yeah.
It's, typically been a very hush-hush stadium.
I'm surprised they don't have some pastor out there just flinging the incense at the crowd.
Right? Oh, you never know. They could do it. Before we get out of here, let's remind everyone that Mike Braun's favorite radio station is WIBC. This happened yesterday. When the property tax reform bills are passed, and notice I said when, not if, I'd just like to nominate Rob Kendall for the Sagamore of the Wabash Award. But...
Well, you know what? I actually heard that discussion because that was either Monday or Friday of last week, and I was in a vehicle listening to my favorite radio station, okay? And I heard it loud and clear.
I just want a pen that it was signed with. But we before we let you go, we appreciate your time, Governor-elect Mike Braun. One last question for you. Big game coming up on Friday.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, IU. I think I know which way you're leaning, but who do you want to win this game?
Hey, you expect me to actually answer that question?
I do. We give the tough questions here.
Yeah. I guess I'll make this comment. The irony that after all these years, since 67, 68, that we've had anything like this to talk about around IU. And then I saw the stat that Notre Dame has beaten us 20 out of 21 times. And the last time we beat Notre Dame was in 1950. And I'm from the most Catholic place in the state of Indiana. All I can say is I generally like the underdog. So I'll let it at that.
Interesting. Mike Braun, Jerry Lopez, Casey Daniels, all Catholic. However, there's a split
Only
there.
two of us are going to heaven.
Yeah.
God does not forget football.
Two of us rooting for Notre Dame. He seems like he's going to be backing IU, which didn't surprise me
If
at all.
IU wins, we're in trouble. We're in big
I'm going to have to
trouble.
eat my words.
Yeah.
Big plate of crow coming for me. That's okay. It wouldn't be the first time I've had to do that on behalf of Notre Dame. They do like to choke in the big games, but hopefully they won't do it this year. Jerry, thank you so much for coming in today. And you'll be back tomorrow, won't you?
I will.
All right, good stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin. But mostly, thank you for listening. This has been the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
The following is a paid advertisement by Family Vacation Getaways with the purpose of soliciting sales of vacation ownership. For complete details, please visit fvgradio.com.
If you want a 100%